Welcome to the first ever Plat Chat Overwatch episode on a Friday. Unparalleled. If you told me we've never done a Friday episode, I would totally believe it. We had to gather here today to find out where Proper is. That is our title. There's a thumbnail.
In the LCQ.
But before we do that, I need Avast to talk 10 minutes about Johnny's facial hair. Go.
I mean, we don't need to do 10 minutes. Just bring up Solomon, bring up the picture. Bring up the tiger that would treat me right from Zootopia. Bring it up. I know he had it. He was playing.
Jamie, pull up the Zootopia screenshot.
I know he has it. Where is it? There it is. So yeah, that's currently what it's giving.
Is that really him?
It's what it's giving.
Wait,
it's giving
why does
that
the rabbit? Why does the rabbit and the child look so scared?
Well, because I think
so
this is from the still where like they're talking about the predator. Did someone not watch Zootopia here? Okay, it's about the still where they're talking about the predators. Oh, you haven't watched Zootopia. Okay.
None
See,
of us
John,
have, apparently.
John, are you raising your hand? Did you seen it or didn't see it?
I haven't seen it. No.
So I'm the only one that's seen it.
I've seen it. I've seen it. It's just been a long time.
Why don't you remember? This is the moment
It's been a long time.
Okay, just not a Zootopia head. That's fine. So, I mean, overall, that's where they're talking about where the predators in the city, and they're like, there's the tiger, and he's like looking really nice, but they're like, oh, like he's a predator. He could be really scary because it's like an allegory for racism, essentially. So, like,
I love racist movies, actually.
Well, clip that. So yeah, that was pretty much the. That was pretty much the.
I don't see it. I don't see what you see. Like, why do you just compare me to a tiger?
Well, it's just more so just the vibe you're giving, because your facial hair is more cozy than it is like. It's like a masculine cozy vibe, and also since you have like a very like you have like kind of like a round face, like in a good way, where like it's very rounded out, you know, where like it just feels cozy, masculine vibes. Plus, you have like a sweater. I'm assuming that's a sweater that you have on there.
No, it's just a t-shirt.
Just it looks sweaterish. So it kind of felt.
If you had a turtleneck, a good turtleneck would suit him right now.
If you had a turtleneck, I mean, you would be the tiger that would treat me right from Zootopia. If you had a turtleneck on.
All right, maybe I'm on the broadcast tomorrow, so I'll keep it in mind. Yeah. Maybe I'll.
Can we go back to the screenshot one? I just made a realization in this exact moment. This is basically a really nice one-to-one size allegory for Johnny's on the right and that's Jaws on the left.
Honestly, Jaws is a rabbit. Jaws is rabbit coded.
Am I rabbit coded?
Jaws is rabbit coded. I would actually agree with that though. I do.
This
agree,
is the next episode's thumbnail. It's just us photoshopped on Zootopia head.
And I think I should be a fox. Personally, I think I should be a fox.
You are quite
someone can get this done for us.
I will say you're quite sneaky and mischievous.
I think I could be Nick Wilde. That's his name, right? I think it's Nick Wilde. I think I could be Nick Wilde. Okay. And that's not just because I want to be with Judy Hopps. It's mostly just because, like, the fact that, like,
he's capping there. All right. He wants to bang the fucking rabbit.
No, I didn't say that. I simply said that I think I could. I'm preempting that. I'm preempting that statement that people put out and saying, like,
I preempted your preemptive statement, bro. Sounds like you want to bang a rabbit.
No.
Which is fine. You know what?
I just want to be a fox.
This film has created a generation.
What's your favorite Pokemon? Just curious. Just curious.
I don't really have.
Jack got that reference.
I would say like
the lol punny moment. He's going to say lol punny, but he doesn't.
No, I'm not going to say lol punny.
I'm the
baby. Wait, it kind of fits with Johnny. He's almost the right size.
He's almost there. Yeah.
The shoulders are there. You go. The shoulders are lined up now. That looks perfect.
Look at him. Look at him. He's going to treat you right.
Wait, this works. If I was a little bit more schizo, like there would be something forming in my brain, perhaps.
Just in a red shirt, and I'm good to go.
Am I looking this way?
That's nice. That's real nice. Dude, imagine also, you know what else would be great? I would have public transit. I'm in Toronto right now, and like I have public transit again. But in the Zootopia world, there's public transit. We could have that. I could be a fox.
Oh, you don't like the LA Metro, which is opening soon?
Well, I'm not in LA anymore, Josh.
Have you ever taken the Metro, Josh?
Oh, yeah, shit. In LA?
Yeah.
No.
No, he says no.
Hell no.
he says no.
Shakes his head.
I've had. I have a friend
buses
of mine
everywhere else. Metros everywhere else.
Was
LA,
in the Metro?
No.
They also got punched in the head though, on the Metro.
Holy shit! I did drop Kurt off at the Metro the other day after we went for a walk. I just pushed him out of my car. He rolled away.
That's good. That's very good.
I guess I'm taking a train from the. I don't forget what the train station is called. To Irvine. I did that to go to the Blizzard office one time. Yeah, I took the train. Yeah.
I mean, the train going to the airport would be nice.
It goes to LAX, which is kind of crazy.
Now,
bro,
is it completed?
That forever, right?
Is it over?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wish they'd had that when I was there. To be fair, I lived pretty close, but like
it might go crazy to get to LAX. We'll see.
Yes. Well, LAX is a fucking nightmare, literal nightmare airport. So
it is.
It's definitely better to have a train station.
Allegedly, you should really. It's really pretty if you take like the coast train in California. Like you can go all across the coast in California. I forget what it's called. Yeah, apparently that's beautiful. Apparently that's really good. So
I have driven that road next to the train.
Yeah. Avast, you compared me to a tiger, which I thought was pretty far off. I just want you to know that I still haven't forgotten about that time I compared you to Michael Scott, by the way. And I sometimes still think about it like.
I mean, that's fine. I think I kind of look like him a little bit. Steve Carell, yeah.
Yeah, but specifically clean shaven, like Michael Scott. Yeah, I don't know. That really suits you. It's dark hair. It's slicked back as well. Clean shaven. You know, the envy suit when you and Jane did the podcast, stuff like that. You know, like.
Thank you so much. You know, none of those suits fit me anymore, unfortunately. It's the downside of going back to the gym consistently. None of those suits fit me anymore.
Dude, suits are stupid.
This is so sad.
Like,
He's so
you have to
small.
replace suits.
I had to buy a new
what are you
suit.
talking about?
And I had to buy, my shoulders are too big. I have like farm boy build, so I can't, my shoulders get really big. And so I can't fit in the suit. I had to buy a new suit I came up here for a wedding. And I had to buy a new fucking suit. Luckily, it was Canadian dollars, so essentially it was like paying like $0 for things. So
wow,
yeah, I had to go do that. It's a sad time. It's a sad time.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's nice to wear a suit. So
it is. That's another suit. That's another memory of envy gone. You know, that time of contested. It's out of there. That's another memory gone.
Some people are trying to bring back the suits in esports stuff. So
it's bad. Stop. Everybody should fucking stop. No one needs to wear a suit.
Yeah, we know this is your take, Joss, but some people. You know, some
people. I don't care about them.
I work with some guys that we have to wear button-ups for fight night, or at least we're supposed to wear button-ups. And like I'm like,
I mean, button-ups is fine if you're allowed to wear what you're wearing now. I think that's pretty chill.
Yeah, I think button-up is probably the classiest you need to go. I think button-up's about the
there are buttons on it. It doesn't need to be a button down. It's like there are buttons.
Yes, that's about the class. I think a suit's a little overkill considering your average audience member is like 17 years old and has never had a job.
And has also never worn a suit. Probably doesn't even have a fucking suit.
I think it's you know, and also like when you think about it, also your average audience member, they're probably just like they're gooning on the second monitor anyways. So
he looked up, man. Look at him go!
Shit.
Oh, he's got his own page on CSA. That's
old. That's old. That's very very.
If you want to know what Connor looks like now, you just like put this into Photoshop and make the picture wider, and like there you go. And that's what he looks like in real life now.
Like Magic Mike aura or something.
Magic Mike.
Yeah, that was great.
No, they don't even have my name right. Look at that. They don't even have my name right. Look at that.
Price.
Yep.
No, Captain Price.
That's why I don't even fucking. Honestly, I don't even know why I'm on their website. I don't use these fucking guys anymore, so they should take me off the fucking website. So, but like, either way, like, if the president got my name wrong,
dude,
that's
he
funny.
actually. Dude, the
Solomon book talent. Press book talent. Book it.
click it.
That would be really funny. Oh,
we want to book him for Plat Chat.
Yeah, you should ask him that. That would actually be such a good bit. Is if you said, "Can we book this guy for Plat Chat?" That would be a really good bit.
I'm still with CSA, so I can reach out to Kurt and I can ask him. I can see.
Yeah, let him know my name's misspelled.
Okay. Well, good news, guys. Okay. Well, come on now. Come on.
Yeah. That's it.
On now.
That's right. Yeah.
Don't do this.
Yes. Send it. Send it.
Don't do this.
Send it.
Please don't do this, Omo.
His name
There's
is
no
so
need for this.
good.
There's no need.
Yeah.
There's no
And
need.
in the bit where you send it, use Johnny's email specifically.
This is not OWCS hot takes, okay? You can't just send emails and.
Why not? They're not. My,
like,
my ass isn't getting emails from them. They're not. They're so like. Why not? What else are they going to use that
Your
inbox
Avast
for?
email is still on it? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway.
I would say just. Yeah, I think that's a perfect opportunity to send that right there.
Guys, you know what? I was gonna say what?
What?
No,
Okay,
what?
sorry. I thought she was in
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank
Okay,
you.
what?
Thank you.
What, Johnny?
Thank you.
What?
What's up, Johnny?
The summer is here. More sun, more light, more time to do all the things to make summer so special. And the number one thing you don't want to be doing all summer, spending hours cooking instead. That's where Factor comes in. Factor's chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready in just 2 minutes. To get the hassle out of eating well. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle over summer and beyond. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your summer gains and goals. Choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Factor powers your day sun up to sundown with nutritious breakfast, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. Factor Factor has your whole day covered. Enjoy more this summer. Get to Factor if you want all the flavor and none of the fuss. Use code OWCS50 off for 50% off your first box at factormeals.com. What's a good summer meal here, okay? I see ginger teriyaki salmon there on the screen.
Jalapeno lime cheddar chicken.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
No, that's too full. You need something light, you know?
How's
like
that too full? How's that
one
too
of these
full?
like gut green juices, that'd be great. And then you want a light snack.
Well,
You
the
should be
gut green
outside,
juice
it's
isn't a
warm.
meal. That's not a meal by itself.
Well,
Have that with the
for-
jalapeno, and that's a good
sometimes-
combo. There you go.
sometimes
Dude, that jalapeno, that's so Commonwealth coded of you to say that. Jalapeno.
Come
What
on,
do you say?
give us a...
Jalapeno.
What do you say?
Let's get
Pino.
active here, Solomon.
Pino.
Let's get active here.
Jalapeno?
And find some good-
Jalapenos?
like, chicken wings, brilliant. That's perfect.
I mean,
That's a perfect summer
chicken
meal.
wings are definitely a very summer coded thing, but I feel like there has to be another. There's like something. There's got to be something in here like Cajun spice salmon and shrimp. That's summer.
Yeah, you think?
I think that's summer.
Cauli grits,
I said
gravy,
maybe not the gravy. The gravy. You're right. The
pesto
gravy's a little-
salmon. Get me that right now. Pesto
Gravy-
salmon.
gravy over
There's green
everything,
beans
bro.
there. Oh, that's
Pesto
just-
salmon.
that's
Pesto.
just
Yeah,
healthy
pesto's
and
pesto's
summer.
Pesto's a
definitely summer.
classic.
Yeah, I
That's
like
a
that.
summer.
Roman
I'm gonna be-
style chicken thigh pen.
I'm gonna be a
Here we go.
rebel
Penne.
and have the pancakes and
Penne.
sausage, but not at breakfast. I'm gonna have it at a different meal today. Real rebel behavior of me.
This is I think also smashed black bean chicken. That's pretty light. That's a pretty light summery meal,
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
with some
yeah.
roasted
See,
zucchini
you
and
can
carrots.
you can get healthy meals from Factor Meals. Go outside, enjoy the summer, and get a cold brew latte as well. And you can be active throughout the day. There
Dude,
go.
you have the cold brew latte, and you have that when you're on the train, the Zootopia train
my
too.
God.
You would look like the tiger.
Zootopia train.
you would be living it up.
Oh yeah, that'd be aura right there. Anyway, check out factormeals.com and use code Overwatch50 off for 50% of your first box and free shipping at Factor Meals. Go check it out. Thank you so much, Factor Meals, for sponsoring today's episode. Now, as I covered at the start of the episode, we're recording this episode on a Friday, which doesn't make sense because the matches for EMEA and NA are tomorrow. So anything we pretty much say today is going to age poorly because there will be new results that will alter our opinion within like the next 24 hours. But I wanted to get an episode this week anyway. We could just get together. We took last week off, so we can have a chat anyway. So AVRL, I figured we'd start with Korea because there's a lot going on. There's last chance qualifiers. There's the seeding deciders going on. The Korean group stage is kind of over, and you really wanted to do like an invest. Actually, no, sorry. Let's go do this. I skipped over something. We'll get back to that later. Let's do this investigative kind of like report on where Proper is. This thumbnail.
He's in
is amazing.
LCQ. He's in
Thank you so
LCQ.
much.
That's where he's
Uber
at.
Chain,
It'd be
thank
funny.
you so much for this
It'd be funny if I had two magnifying glasses like this and I was just holding them both up. Like glasses.
Both.
Okay, and now give Johnny tiger fur.
This guy. He's just. Dude, he's trying to fur up.
What are you
his
trying to
friends.
turn
Ruthless.
John into a furry for?
And
What are you
then
doing? Like,
give Jaws 2 rabbits.
I bet it is.
Give Jaws.
Hey, that might look good. No lie. You never know. I did
Never
play
know.
a fucking bun boy in Final Fantasy when I played.
Bun boy. What?
Yeah, it's like the bunny. It's like the bunny,
bunny-
features. Yeah, it's not like
Yeah.
a bow bun, but like a bunny.
It's not like
feature.
I didn't play a bow bun.
Yes.
I played like a creature.
I kind of thought of this. If it'd be, this kind of throws me back a little bit to 2020. I think it was 2021 in the Overwatch League broadcast when like Custer, was it Custer? Who? Somebody on the broadcast. I do remember Custer did it one year. Might have been 2022 actually, where like he'd green screen himself and he'd be like a weather reporter or something.
Yeah.
Oh
He
yeah,
did an American
Customs
accent?
Network.
Yeah, it was well, like those type of segments back in Overwatch League. He said it's going to be us now. We'll do the detective segment. There's no green. I could pull a green screen up, but I didn't prepare for this
Yeah, I
at
got
all.
a green
I
screen
didn't
right
think
there
about
too.
doing that.
Yeah.
I didn't think about doing any of this. But guys, where Proper be at? Where's he at? Where's my guy? Where's my MVP? Where's my 2022 rookie the MVP? Probably would have been Grand Finals MVP too if he won. And now he's completely missing. 9K pulled him out the back and apparently shot him. And by the way, if you
Apparently
actually
shot him. Wait. Is that where the story ends? He apparently got shot.
well, the thing is, he's not even showing up to the arena now.
That's
Like,
pretty
if you
crazy,
look at the
actually.
footage of the walkout of Falcons, everyone's walking out except for Proper. Because I guess, to be honest, everyone else is going to get played at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I
because
was gonna
both
say
someone
everyone
and
would get
Harmon.
played.
Yeah, but even then, the players that didn't used to get played would still walk out. Like, you'd see Majed walk out every now and then back in the day. Who, by the way, I think Majed is the glue, guys. I think Majed, the last time Falcons were good, Majed was still in the team thoughts. But
True.
yeah, I don't know. We can probably talk about 9K's Twitter statement about what's going on internally with the team. And
Yeah,
what
put
he
it in
wants
Discord, someone.
where he sees the current direction of the team, which is very interesting. But current results
this
for
is the old stuff. I don't know if there was a new post, but this is when got told that he would be taking a break for a while. The 9K statement is at the back of this.
Yeah, so there's a 9K tweet somewhere in here as well. And so here we go. We'll read it. Our recent matches have revealed ongoing instability across the team. So actually, before I do this is right after they lost to AGG. So they got 0-3 by AGG. I watched that game, by the way, and we'll talk about a little bit about what happened in that game that led up to this. But this tweet says, our recent matches have revealed ongoing instability across the team. Based on the coaching staff's assessment, we will be sticking with the current roster for the time being, win or lose, and will deliberately intensify training and structure to steer the team back to form. This isn't about any one individual. It's a collective rebuilding phase. Right now, our top priority is to push forward until every player can truly stand tall again. And spoilers, they haven't been winning since then. Oh, actually, no. They beat Vec, which they're supposed to beat Vec. They're supposed to beat Vec, and they beat Old Ocean, which they're supposed to beat. But then they got Giga stopped like Crazy Raccoon.
Yeah, they kind of fucked me over with that one because I was like at the wedding, I was planning to wake up exactly when T1 started, and I was like, yeah, surely Falcons will put up a little bit of a fight. Wrong. Literally steamrolled, like incredibly steamrolled. So yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good.
That scoreline is a full cap on Runasapi, by the way, one of Falcons' best maps. It's a 2-0 Ilios. New Junk City was at least somewhat close, but it was just ugly, man. Connor, you actually watched the AGG Falcons game live. I had to go back and watch the VOD of that to find out what happened and diagnose it. But the funny thing is, that was last time we saw Proper. I don't know how you felt about this one, but during that game, it seemed to me at least that Proper was the only one doing any actual work in that game and kind of carrying the team. No joke. He was the guy that was actually fragging and keeping his team alive. Okay, granted, on Busan when he plays Sombra, not a good look, but he's not a Sombra player. Tracer was banned. We know he's not good at Sombra. It is what it is. But on Midtown and Runasabi, when he got on Tracer, his ass actually carried the team pretty damn hard in that game. And then after that match, some reason the Falcon staff go, you know who the problem is? I think it's Proper. I think the guy that was doing the most in the game that we just lost, I think we'll bench that guy.
Well, first of all, I agree. But I'm going to assume, typically, barring like some sort of terror, like I'm going to assume that something happened in scrims more so than the match itself. Because,
instability is a pretty dangerous word.
It is, yeah. So I'm assuming something happened in scrims because he looked really good, like AVRL was saying, in the match they played versus AGG.
Do you reckon he flipped out?
Good. I don't know. Is Proper... Does he do striker moments? Has we confirmed that? Does he striker moments?
Is Proper a rager? He's like a small rager, no?
I feel like this is a conspiracy, especially around the San Francisco shock. Yeah. So I don't know if this fuels more conspiracy theories about.
It certainly does.
Teammate.
I get comments be like, "Oh, there it is. That's the proof that Proper is the problem." It's like, dude, what do you got? It's the conspiracy. The conspiracy theory from 2023 is insane. When Proper like one time in match chat decided to get a little funky and started to get like this was something that was encouraged by the league and by the fans as well. The fans like, you know what? We need more banter. We need the players to show more personality.
Dude,
and then the players do.
This happened
and
all
the players
the time.
show some personality. The players start typing in chat, and the fans go crazy. Like, oh my god, he's terrible. He's the worst person. Like, dude, you asked for this. You said we want players to show more personality and banter, and then they do, and now we make up crazy conspiracy theories. It's insane.
Do you know who they have on their roster that they could just sub in, bro? Solomon, I need you to bring this up.
Where is he going with this?
Oh my god,
dude,
I'm just saying.
This has to die. No,
I'm just saying.
Sparkle.
Yeah.
No, Sparkle doesn't get to go in because Sparkle's also the one forcing them to play. Sparkle's the one that's forcing them to play like elo terrorism comps as well.
So 2020 to 2022, Sparkle was one of the goats.
No,
he's
one of the goats.
I can tell you this.
He might not be done. How do you know that?
He's done. Because I saw him. Because I saw him. 2024 Sparkle, end of the year 2024 Sparkle, subbed in when Stork had to dip out of the tournament, out of the Super Cup. No. Not the most recent one, the one before. And then Sparkle played in Stalker's place, and it wasn't good. It was, they lost. The Hedgehog done, which is Mag's team. That was the last time Mag won, by the way. So, I wasn't. Mag's won against bad teams.
Yeah,
but the point is, that was the last good win that Mag had. We'll say that much. So that's the story that you need to know. The fact that Sparkle lost to Mag is all you need to know. Don't worry, fans. We will be talking about GenG today. We will be talking about GenG later.
He wanted to call it quits. He had his time in the sun, and he's like, okay, now I'm gonna go from the shadows, and I'm gonna force Falcons to play Elo terrorism comps, and we're gonna be playing Sombra. We're gonna be playing Symmetra. We're gonna play fucking like random ass comps with Hanbin. We'll bring in someone to int for a match. Actually, to be fair, I don't even think someone's been playing like that horrendously bad. I think it's not been playing well, but. Yeah, I Sparkle is not the solution. Though I will agree with you that Sparkle in that range was actually, he did know how to play Tracer pretty well. He did play Tracer pretty well. But the problem is I don't think he would play anything else that like would he learn? He would have to learn like Freya maybe potentially for that team unless they play Merit perma. Unless they play like Merit or Stalker permanently, which they could.
Bro, is my memory fucking boomed, or wasn't Sparkle more of like a flex player?
He was but it's more so, but it's more so like hard hit scan players have been playing Freya.
You need to stop entertaining the idea of Sparkle actually.
No, it's not. I'm just. I mean, it'd be funny. But imagine if Falcons get so boomed that Sparkle does come out to play. Like it would be funny. It would be.
I mean, for that to happen,
he played this winter. He's washed, bro.
For that to happen, Stalker would have to dip again. Which, to be fair, he was quote unquote, I don't know. I don't think it was bench, but he like took a break the week before. So this week 3, when Falcons played against AGG, the weekend before that, Stalker took a break because of a wrist injury, and then I think the match before the weekend before that one, pretty sure Proper was out due to sickness, and so they have a situation now where like both Stalker and Proper have just been in and out. But now that Proper's bench is like, so what does that mean for Stalker? Is his wrist just like magically healed? Probably not, right? Like it's kind of a weird situation.
They need to pick up a 6th Tracer player, I think.
But just they have 2 really good Tracer players.
Keep adding Tracer players.
They already have them. They don't need it.
It's time to get Striker. It's time to get the Batman signal off of Striker again. That's all it is.
Dude, imagine Striker comes
If Striker
back.
comes, I mean, if Striker ends up on a roster, I would lose my goddamn.
Is he like even?
I'll tell you what they need to do. They need
this
to
is like the fucking
coach.
WWE. They're just bringing in like old wrestlers. Just like,
oh my God, it's not a DPS problem. It's not a damn Stalker, fucking Proper, and goddamn Merit. It's not a DPS problem. It's not a DPS problem. It isn't. This team has a mental. This is crumble. This is a mental crumble. 110%. This is a mental crumble. I am now of the opinion, especially after watching tons of OWCS Korean scene, I am now of the opinion, based off my previous history too in Overwatch, that Korean mentals are some of the most weakest and strongest in Overwatch.
Yeah.
I believe that
average?
Korean mentals, no, wrong, extreme, bipolar.
oh, they're
I think
bipolar.
it's bipolar mental.
Oh,
So I think they have some of the most insane mental fortitude to grind and to be the best and to want to win. But in return, immediate crumbling at many opportunities as well. So while your average North American Western player gonna middle the road, says like, I don't really care, don't need to be the best, just need the paycheck, but also very mediated in terms of the mental as well.
Okay, so who's on 2 ends of the scale? Knife on 1 end of the scale. Supreme mental fortitude. In the middle, maybe a Lastro type beat. Kind of like flips out in match chat sometimes. Sex big dick.
I don't know.
And then at the other end,
what's the other end?
the other end is the entirety of Falcon.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
or
also,
Chio?
I mean, like T1 even has talked about with like Donghack and stuff. Like Donghack's been like, yeah, I just have to like sometimes like alpha up because our mental's crumbling, even though they have like a bunch of really good
Donghack's
players.
also there with Knife at the other end. Superb mental, dude. That video of Gator saying like the Chio Donghack thing, and he's like fucking Donghack killing Chio over and over again is permanently playing in loop in my fucking head.
well, yeah. Because didn't you see Donghack's like mental when he accepted the award for like Rookie of the Year, whatever it was in 2023? Like that guy's mental was broken. Like they had just like psychologically like destroyed that dude. And so of course, like you have to come back from that. You have to like tell yourself in the mirror, like, no, Chio is wrong. Like I am good at Winston. I am good at Tracer, apparently. So you have to tell yourself this. You have to tell yourself this in the mirror in the morning, you know?
So if we remember correctly, and trust me, Connor knows this extremely well. The weakest mental actually ever, as Connor knows, is actually Korean OG, the guy who took mental holidays in the middle of the season.
OG, yes. OG mental was very, very weak. But the point being is that I just think that, like, I don't believe there is currently, you cannot look at the Falcons roster and be like, there was a problem here. Outside of the fact that they don't
Actually, I'm blaming someone. I'm blaming Ham. I think he's the problem. I'm blaming him.
Like the only issue, which still remains the issue, which is why they picked up someone, right, is they didn't have a dedicated like Winston Reinhardt type of player. You know, that was their only real issue. Which, and in particular, this meta, you don't fucking need. You don't really need it. You don't. And so, like, it's really just a mental problem. It's a mental problem. There is boomings occurring. There's the type of boomings that Oppenheimer thought that maybe that could happen when they dropped the first nuke, is that it would ignite the whole world. Like, that is what's happening. It's a chain reaction of boom. They might, right now, 9K is standing out to the distance after just talking to like fucking the other coaching Albert Einstein. Like, he just talked to like Rush or something, and now he's like standing there like as the violins play, and it's like zooming in on his face, and he's just standing there. It's like, I think we might have destroyed the world, and it's just built. It's boom. It's fucking boom going on right now. It's a pure mental boom that's occurring.
Just two tigers talking to each other about destroying the. Yep.
So the way I see it is, they got someone in merit because they were like, we need like a couple more players to try and take on Crazy Raccoon. These guys will give us maybe a little bit extra something that can, you know, help bridge the gap, especially someone Zero Pool complementing Hanvin. They tried to integrate someone and a little bit of merit. They face adversity because it's not going so well, and the meta is not especially like pretty dive friendly, at least in the first few weeks. Maybe that's changing a little bit at least. And when the players face adversity, they get boomed because they're like, oh, we suck, who's sucking? And then 9K is like, all right, like something's fucking going on here. Like, you're boomed. Like, we gotta roll with this roster. We gotta get back in shape. This is unacceptable. Like, we can do way better than this. And so they're trying to like change the way they practice and like the vibe of the team, and like, yeah, pretty much essentially, right? So I don't know if there's anything I disagree with that they've done. I mean, it's pretty heinous that, you know, Proper is not playing, because Proper is one of the best players in the world. But also trust 9K. Like, if 9K is like, hey, we're rolling with Stalker Merit, like, sure, okay, yeah, so like Hanbin and someone are still playing in their own separate ways, I suppose. So
I trust them a lot more if that Crazy Raccoon game didn't look so terrible for Falcons. Like, it was actually
it matters in the
if you
future.
get full capped on your best map, like, that's fucking awful, bro.
Okay, it doesn't matter now. They got bigger problems to fix with. They're in fucking last chance qualifier, all right?
Yeah,
they got bigger issues to solve.
LCQ.
You don't have to be Crazy Raccoon right now. You have to be, I don't know, fucking
Dude,
T1.
if they don't make out of LCQ, then yeah, it's done. The team's done. Disband.
That would
the
be
whole
a
thing.
catastrophic failure.
It would be.
But
Imagine
obviously, I think they will. But
to,
the bigger picture,
to
even if they don't qualify for
OWCS
EWC, it's a catastrophic failure. So I think they got bigger fish to fry. Like, they can't focus on Crazy Raccoon. They
But
have
listen,
to be on like top 3. You know?
They will beat Old Ocean. They play against Old Ocean and LCQ. That's fine. They'll beat them. If they lose to Old Ocean, I think they're done. But if they'll beat Old Ocean. They threw
real
they threw it. They 3-0'd Old Ocean even after like benching Proper, so they'll be fine. They'll win that game.
Yeah, they'll be perfectly fine versus Old Ocean, and they'll be perfectly fine against everyone. Honestly, unless Poker Face like do something insane, like unless they like have a Heiser moment, I think they're gonna be fine.
Fun fact, I created a bracket for because I was a guest on the NA broadcast at OWCS just the previous week, and some of you guys remember, and I made a preview bracket. Oh, that's fine. You were in Canada, so you were. Don't worry about that. You were. I made a bracket for the playoffs for Korea, and in my bracket, I have Falcons exiting 3rd, and that's probably quite a generous 3rd as well, because I assume that Crazy Raccoon will end up selecting them, because the way the Korea playoffs work, if we look at the bracket, is that Falcons will exit probably out of LCQ in the number 1 spot in Seed 1. They then go up against Seed 4 from seeding matches, who I assume is going to end up being AGG or Zeta, but most likely AGG. Assuming Falcons... It's just in the... No. It's just in the bracket. I don't have the...
Right.
We just look at the actual bracket in the actual regional players bracket itself, below the LCQ. So basically, I think Falcons are going to be this LCQ Seed 1. Or AGG's probably be the Seed 4 that they play against. And then if you look at the semis here, Seed 1 from seeding matches have a selection. And I believe that's going to be Crazy Raccoon by far. They look like the best team by far in that entire seeding matches, which means they choose out of the winners of the quarterfinal, and they will choose Falcons. Because I think Falcons are going to be the easiest choice out of the quarterfinal, because the other choice is going to probably be, you know, Poker Face, AGG, T1 Zeta, and I think unless it's Poker Face, which is crazy, I don't think Poker Face is going to make it to semis. But out of the options remaining, I'm pretty sure Crazy Raccoon's best matchup is versus Falcons, given they just played them, they absolutely dominated them, like disgustingly dominated them. I think Crazy Raccoon choose Falcons again and remove them from potential of even playing the grand final, and they put Falcons into third place match, which means Falcons are not even going to go to the grand final for Korea, in my opinion. Granted, this is not Asia. Granted, this has got nothing to do with EWC, because as long as they make top, what is it? Top,
in the top 4?
4? As long as they make, I think, top 4. As long as they make top 4, they go to... Oh, whoa, hang on. Oh, no, I don't think there is an Asia qualifier. Oh, shit, there's not an Asia qualifier.
No, it's there's a global qualifier, correct?
No. But, like, usually, Korea qualifies into an Asia event.
Because Crazy Raccoon won Champions Clash is top 3. So 2 and 3
okay, so this is really important. There's not going to be an Asia playoffs. I just realized there's not going to be an Asia playoffs because usually Korea and the rest of everyone else qualifying to Asia playoffs before stage 2, they don't have an Asia playoffs. Everything qualifies directly into EWC, which means that Falcons, they need to come minimum 3rd. Assuming Crazy Raccoon win the whole thing, which I think they're likely to do, they're pre-qualified, so they don't count, which means EWC goes to the next 2 teams. Falcons have to come minimum 3rd to make it. Otherwise, they're cooked.
And who knows about this mid-season last chance qualifier as well? I don't know what the deal is. I don't think they have announced anything about that. I don't know what the deal is with that. But yeah, they're still red, bro. I don't know what's going on with that. If it's going to be global or like who is eligible, I have no idea. But yeah, they need to win whatever that match. 3rd place match is called then if Crazy Raccoon gets top 2. So
competition's tight. Falcons are in a bad spot. Zeta look good. T1 look good. Like there's
it's not guaranteed they make it. Not guaranteed they make it.
Even AGG look decent. So it's tough for Falcons. If they don't make this, would be considered for the org a home event. I can tell you right now, that org Falcons, it's got to be no bueno for them if this team doesn't make EWC. Like that's the event that is basically the whole reason this org is even in Overwatch.
Did they literally win EWC last year?
Yeah, like Falcons as an organization.
As an organization.
Yeah, not the Overwatch team. Not the Overwatch team, obviously. The entire org, yeah.
I just meant Team Falcons, the brand, have pretty high expectations because they won EWC across all games last year.
Correct.
So if their team didn't qualify, I think they'd be pretty disappointed. But,
that would be an understatement. Just want to be a major understatement. I think the team would be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
The Overwatch team specifically would be in a lot of trouble.
Oh, yeah. Avast, how are you feeling about T1?
They're good. They're pretty good. I don't know. Their overall look pretty good. I think they are definitely trending like upwards a bit, in my opinion, in terms of like where they started to settle in the meta. Especially because like overall they've seemed like they finally found like kind of this rotation of like, oh yeah, this is how they want to play. There's still a question of how they're gonna do against like, are they really going to consistently beat a team like, or even like go up against like a Crazy Raccoon, right? Like, sure, we're not worried about Falcons necessarily for them, but it's like, are they going to beat AGG and like Crazy Raccoon and Zeta consistently? That's kind of like, I think the question for T1 and in general, it's just like, how well are they going to do? Because they're clearly better than Falcons right now. And they're pretty clearly better than like everyone else, like below Falcons, like Old Ocean, Poker Face, Onside Vec, etc. It's just, are they gonna be able to beat like Crazy Raccoon, AGG, or Zeta consistently, especially AGG and Zeta, for them, because Crazy Raccoon obviously is like that next step up, and with AGG looking like so good in this meta currently, with Aid potentially being like one of the best, if not the best Freyas, like it's hard. It's pretty hard for them. I do think this is like, they're a solid, what we expected, a solid top like 3-ish team out of the region. It's just a question of can they beat like all these other teams consistently? Because right now I would say there isn't a guarantee for T1 that they're going to beat a Crazy Raccoon. Obviously, there's no guarantee that they're going to beat even AGG or Zeta every time right now based on their previous performances. So it's a little too close to call. I think if they shape up a bit. Also, they play some weird shit that like somewhat work, but doesn't. Like they were playing like Junker Queen. They had Donghack playing like Junker Queen on some maps. Now, granted, it was. I don't think that's necessarily gonna.
City, like Rush map, or
I think they had it on. I'd have to double check.
I know Han been playing on Runasapi. I remember that, but I don't remember when Donghack.
It might have been. It might have been. I'd have to go double check, but I want to say it was like it was either a push map or a flashpoint. I think when they had the Junker Queen.
That is crazy.
Oh, Avast against Old Ocean. Yeah,
and that was kind of weird. But it was versus Old Ocean, so like maybe it was just something they're trying out. Like they know they're pretty confident in that. I do think like considering that they last time they played against like Zeta, they won. Then like you can feel pretty good, but it's still a little. That was like a map 5, so it's still pretty close to call. Okay. I don't know. I think if you ask me, like right off the bat, like Skewed Vigilante, it was looking a little grim there at points with like how good Skewed was looking too, and Skewed has been looked a lot better recently. I think Proud also has been kind of up and down for them, and has now looked a lot better recently, like on the Freya, which is like you have to have your Freya player looking really good. So. Currently, it's just a question of does T1 come up and they look consistent? If they look as good as they did in the past like 2-3 weeks, I think they would probably finish top 2 in Korea. If they look as good as they past like a couple weeks, but if they show up in like earlier like form T1, I don't necessarily know if they're gonna finish top 2.
So many stakes in Korea right now.
Real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Talk about the role swap real quick, Connor.
For what? For
Donghack.
For Donghack? I mean, what? It's not a role swap.
Yes, it is. He played Tracer.
Well, but he did. They played it versus. They played it versus Vec. Man.
Yeah, but it's funny.
Or onside. They played it versus onside.
As respected journalists, we have to cover the news.
Yes, it was because the onside is legitimately the worst. I think like what was the final standings? It was like the final standings. I believe is that Vec finished 0-8. They finished 0-8, and onside finished 1-7 at like a -15 map differential. So they were clearly fucking crushing onside. Onside also had nothing to play for at this point, and it didn't. Also, that game in general, if T1 won or lost, no matter the scoreline, they were locked in for their seeding. Like it didn't change their seeding no matter what. And so after crushing them the first 2 maps of the series, Donghack plays Tracer on Suravasa, and fucking they have Zest play Hazard on the 3rd map of the series, and they just rolled them. Because like it's over, you know, the mental's fully crushed. Like Donghack did get a pretty sick 3K. He did get a kind of sick 3K at one point, which was nice.
I'll find the clip. Hold up, we gotta find a clip.
I think it was like after the first fight, potentially.
Did you see the screenshot that he has an 8% win rate on Tracer on his account?
Like this, it was just a mega troll. It was a mega troll, and they were playing the second, if not tied for the worst team in Korea when the match didn't matter, and they were already up 2-0. You know, so there's nothing to look into this here. This is just trolling. This was literally trolling on a bad team, essentially.
This is what a tank player dreams of. Being able to swap over to damage trade in an
Tracer, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, they put Super on Genji, you know?
Yeah,
anything's possible.
Super on Genji vibes, yeah.
So true. Damn.
Anything's possible. I mean, some main tanks have... I mean, essentially, Donghack does join the illustrious ranks of main tank players that have actually played DPS at an okay level now. Like, it's been like Donghack, Super, and Gesture.
At an okay level?
Yeah.
Wait, what did Gesture play? I can't remember.
I mean, he didn't really actually play DPS. He was playing Roadhog, but like
Bumper
it's
Hanzo?
more so that I mean there was Bumper Hanzo, but I wouldn't really say that was that good.
Bumper Hanzo.
When they went
sure,
all like 5 damage players on 2CT or something. Yeah.
You can maybe argue.
I found the clip.
But I do think like that's funny. I mean, he looked okay, but it's there's nothing. They were just stunting. They were essentially. Onside Gaming was a quivering pile of jelly. The stage was over, and they were just like, "What if we just like spit and like, what if we spit and stomp on your destroyed jelly corpse?" Wow. And that was it. Brutal. Look, but here comes Donghack with the 3K of the century. So there he goes, cleans up a kill.
Wow.
Cleans up another kill. Here it comes. Look at that. The reset, and then
wait, the stick was kind of clean though. God damn.
That you haven't seen sticks like that since Michael. You haven't seen a stick on a tank player since Michael.
I love how you can watch a gameplay footage like this, and you can immediately tell by like how they move their mouse and how they aim, like whether you like them playing the character or not. It's like you watch a Reinhardt player play for like 10 seconds, and you can immediately tell if they're good at Reinhardt or not. You can watch someone play Tracer for 10 seconds, and you can immediately tell if they're good on Tracer or not. I don't know. Am I the only one? Like you can tell.
That's pretty. No, yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
I love it.
Because it's
just
the way
so
they
great.
aim and the way they move. Like, it's pretty.
Yeah, when
easy to spot, I
the dong
think.
hack, like when it moves during fights, it's just I don't know, it's gold. It's just gold.
You can definitely tell they have main tank aim, you know, where it's
Yeah.
like they're like moving it and like the resets aren't very clean. The tracking isn't like exceptionally clean. It looks like you're playing like that arcade game where you're like the beach turret and you're like, bah, 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 bah. That's what it kind of, or you have like crack cocaine aim where it's like insanely fast.
Oh yeah. Oh dude. Oh my god. I'm not
the
gonna be
high
able to find
sensitivity.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody? Was it a Korean player, or is it a Japanese player that plays on like? It's like 1600
Is that a Japanese ball player?
DPI.
It's a guy called
Yeah, it's the
Yu
ball-
Yu, who's a ball main.
Yu, that's it. Yeah, Yu, that's a ball player. 1600 DPI and like 75 aim in game, which is like
How can you even aim? How's
you,
it even
dude.
possible?
I don't know. The guy's moving his mouse like this, bro, and he's like 360.
think
And
that
he's
guy's
like,
aiming.
he's got
Dude.
nice tracking. Like it actually doesn't look too bad. Like it's fucking
His
crazy.
POV is impossible to look at. I watched his POV one
It
time
is.
and like, please swap person. I'm getting motion sickness watching his POV.
You know
It's
how people
gross.
say like, do you
It's
have like
bad.
arm aim or do you have like wrist aim? That guy must
Yeah.
have like finger aim where he's like
No, dude, he's
moving
hardly
with his
moving.
fingers.
I'm like, how
That's
do you
sick.
even?
Yeah, because he
Where
has
do
to be
you
moving his
begin
mouse
to-
like if he's like his mouse has to be like this. It has to be like
Yeah, it's like,
and that's like almost like a 180 or something.
yeah,
It's
dude,
like him
it's
doing this.
crazy. Like, how do you even begin your like gaming career doing that, bro? Have you got like no space in your mouse pad? Like, are you like, is there like a brick house around your fucking hand that you just couldn't move? Like, it's
crazy.
fucked.
Yeah, that's
It's
crazy.
crazy.
I remember the first time I watched Fate play Winston. Fate had really high sensitivity. I think Fate had like 800
Fate?
DPI 21 or something in game. I was like,
That's-
holy shit.
That is high.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
I've got
guy.
a fairly high sense. I'm like 4 in game or something, and I'm like 1400 DPI or something, which is quite high.
Yeah. I played so much Counter-Strike when I was younger, so I remember when I joined Rogue in the first time we boot camped, and like Vince walks up to me and I was like 800 DPI 3 cents or something, and I'm playing Reinhardt and I'm like swinging all over the place, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, just increase the sensitivity. You're sick. Yeah, good times. All right, I don't think we'll see Dongak Tracer anymore.
No.
Unfortunately.
No.
Don't expect
That's,
Dong Tracer. Expect T1 to essentially like if their form stays really good, I think they could finish top 2. But it's kind of just like a race for 2 right now behind Crazy Raccoon. Barring T1,
Yeah.
like one of these other teams have like a really good performance or resurgence.
By the
in
way,
playoffs.
Zeta lost 0-3 to AGG. So this AGG team is legit.
Yeah, they're
Like,
good.
actually
they're
legit.
fucking they're pretty. I think the biggest thing for AGG is that it literally just solidifies you don't need a main tank player. You don't need to play Winston. You don't need it. Like, obviously, it helps if you have
Right
like
now.
one of the best Freya. Yeah, right now. Obviously, it helps if you have like the best, potentially the best Freya in your region with aid. But like, they literally just play Milgaru and they just run it down on like Hazard, Diva, like fucking I don't know, Orisa, shit like that. Like their asses are not playing main tanks. They're just
Hazard
good.
did great things for off-tank players.
Yes.
Or historical off-tank players. I don't think
Milgaru is the
we
main
can
tank,
avoid
to be
that.
fair, but they also play Jasmine, and Jasmine just like locks Hazard as well. And like he plays some
But also
Diva, he'll play the Orisa.
when Jasmine comes in, they made Jasmine play like Winston stuff too, and it's never been that good. It's never been very good.
I think one of the standouts you have to talk about on this team is actually Sonjin. His glow up has been insane. We already knew Sonjin was talented, but then you put him up to the test against the best of Korea, and you're like, holy shit, he's not just talented. He's like world star. This guy's actually
That
on the
is
top level.
interesting because at the tail of end of his like EU escapades, it was like, okay, he's pretty good. Like clearly he was not in the perfect environment for himself. So that's kind of a nice thing. Because when he initially like came onto the scene in EU, he was fucking slapping cheeks, but it wasn't. I wouldn't say it wasn't anything like I was like, oh my god, world star, like world beater, like crazy insane shit can beat Crazy Raccoon kind of thing. But it was and then towards the end it kind of fell off. So it must be like a different
So I
environment
said,
kind of thing.
the
Obviously,
real
all
test-
Korean team as well is like
The real test is seeing how he does in Korea, and he is really good in Korea.
Bro
So
was on Shikigami half a year ago. Shikigami.
he was on I remember him most well on TSM, actually. I don't know. That's when I first kind of noticed him. Outside of Seoul Dynasty, people, the real Sonjin heads remember he's played for a month on Seoul Dynasty
The
when
real
Profit,
Sunjin heads.
when
Was
Profit
that when
was
Sunjin heads, they say.
Profit took a
went to
break for a
coach?
month. No, Profit took a break for a month.
Break, yeah.
I don't know what the reason was, but he took a break for a month, and so they got Sonjin on for like a temporary contract for
I
Seoul
do
Dynasty.
remember that.
So he literally had to play in Profit's seat, which is like a really tough position because Profit was like the big carry on the team. and he did like okay, but wasn't that impressive. But like, yeah, he then played EU and NA, and I just remember him well on TSM, be like, this guy's got potential. But then seeing
He
him
played
on
for
AG, I'm like,
Simpriza as well,
oh.
right?
Oh, that's
Did
when
he?
that's when Soul lost to Dreamers.
Oh my.
Remember that?
So yeah, like
When we
not
got
the best
Contenders
moment
team
for
in
Soul.
to,
Not the
Overwatch
best
League?
moment for Soul, but
Yeah. Yeah, but it's crazy because like, you know, it's always good when you get to see players like develop and climb the ranks like that. Like obviously the go-to example now is Sarah, because you know last year
Yeah, of
Sarah
course.
like, you know, was playing on like lower teams, I think, and then everyone knew Sarah had talent, and then finally made it. You know, having played on Nightmare, Beak, Chris Kuna now on Liquid, so like a big come up story. But I feel like, you know, Sunjun is another example of that, like a player who was on literally, like I said, Shikigami a little over half a year ago,
Yeah.
and now we were just like, holy shit, like this is awesome to see. Like great for Sunjun, very happy for
from Shikigami to beating Falcons 3-0. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at
And
all
that's what it's all about. And that's what it's all about, you know? Is that it's just coming from there. To be fair, Shikigami as an org also produces some very interesting talent. Like they're very good at scouting talent, I would say, because this is not related to Overwatch necessarily besides that. But also their team that they had in Marvel Rivals got picked up by FlyQuest. So like they're just like they're just farming rosters for other organizations.
Oh, so Nightmare, unfortunately.
Yes. So
Which
it's
is no
Nightmare 2.0.
which is no disrespect against Nightmare, because they still come up with insane rosters time and time again, even after they keep getting farmed by other like orgs. Nightmare still ends up having an incredible roster. So yeah, maybe that's the NA segue we're looking for. But yeah, Sonjin, big ups to my man Sonjin.
That was Fleta was coaching Shikigami at the time. Sonjin was on the roster.
Oh,
And now Fleta
Wait,
is,
Fleta coached
completely
Shikigami?
yeah, for like a month.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, like a month, yeah. And now Fleta's on T1. So big come up for Fleta. No, I'm getting it.
Oh no,
Big come up. Very
Big
big
come
come
up
up for Fleta. Fleta, you made it. You really made it.
Wow, that's amazing.
Look at this. Look at this. He went from Fnatic to Shikigami to T1. What a roster history he's got
Yeah,
here.
what happened
Jeez.
there? Someone from Shikigami cooked.
You want to talk about someone that like I think I respect people that are able to keep getting the gigs, because I'm sure, I mean, Fleta has the history for it. Obviously, I'm not saying that Fleta's not like deserves, but it's like it is the skill in of itself to keep roster hopping like this. And I must say, like, well played to Fleta. Well played to Fleta to keep making it happen. I don't know how he's doing it. I don't know what. Well, he must be a good. People must really like Fleta as a coach. He must be pretty good.
On the scale of bag getting from 0 to Crystal, where does Fleta land?
Unfortunately, no one has yet to defeat Crystal. But I would
Is
say
the
like
ultimate bag getter of all time, yeah.
I mean, technically, if I would say my ultimate bag getter of all time is probably Hex from Optic. I would say the Optic Hex like owner is perhaps the ultimate like bag owner at Esports or bag getter. But I think I don't know. I think what's our scale? What's like a good in between scale? Someone that put in the work, but you know they put in the work, but they didn't necessarily like. Maybe it's just like an average, like it's just an
like
average.
a boink.
Like a no, not a boink, not a boink. Boink would be the very opposite of that. Boink would be closer to like the Crystal scale than he would be like the like.
Dude,
I
one
would
more.
say
If Boink had one more year, he'd be above Crystal.
that potentially, it's very potentially true. I would say maybe like a good honest working man bag getter is like that's like an agilities, you know, someone that was like playing, but they got maybe perhaps overpaid for what they were doing, and but they still played a lot, you know. Or you could even argue like, I mean, no, who are you? That's separate category. No, you can't do who are you. So I would say somewhere between agilities to Crystal, that's where Fleta goes in my opinion. But it's hard to judge with coaches sometimes though. It's hard to judge with coaches because like there's not very many like. I mean, people right now are saying Krusty's in the bag getter category.
Well, Krusty's won like multiple rings. He's won the world championship like 3 times.
He hasn't won in a long time though. He
literally won last year. He won Stockholm last year.
Don't care. Not as big enough.
Okay.
Don't care, dude. This guy is he's a racing history. He
not big enough, and he's employing and he's coaching the current GenG roster. Okay, so think about that one for a second.
I am thinking about that one. Don't worry, I got plenty of thoughts about GenG.
The GenG roster.
Yeah, I mean, Falcons are imploding without Crusty.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And GenG imploded with Crusty.
That is the issue here.
Maybe Crusty only works on Falcons.
Actually, no, guys, I got it. What Falcons need is they should drop someone and pick up Mag. Thoughts?
Oh, wait a minute.
Got him.
Wait a minute.
Got him.
Roster mover of all time.
That could be something. Wait, now think about
Holy
this.
shit.
It's not even believable anymore.
Falcons drop someone, drop 9K plus Crusty plus Mag.
Wow.
Oh my God, trade of the
Sold.
century.
Sold.
Wait,
Wanna
GenG
fix
winning.
it.
all
Where's
their
my
games
credit
in
card?
EMEA?
Sold.
Then-
That
Add Canale.
add Canale.
What does Canale have to do with
To
this?
do what?
I
The
know.
roster's full. They already have 7.
the-
You can't have more than 7
Why
on your
not?
team.
Just because why not? Just because why not? No,
the
add
hell?
Twilight. Add Twilight.
Oh, did you see the
Yes,
clip
my
of
goat.
Violet dueling
Yeah,
in
getting
ML7 in
pinned.
Face It?
Yes, I did. I did see the clip. It's a good clip.
Violet
pinned
challenged
on the
ML7
map
to
by
a one-on-one on
Cloudy.
Kiriko. ML7
Oh, right.
won, and then Violet tried to come back for seconds to get revenge, and ML7
Wait, I
dominated
didn't
Violet again.
see
Okay, guys.
that. I saw
What-
Violet getting
what-
pinned off of the map on Lighthouse.
Okay, we're gonna
by
show that. We're gonna show.
Cloudy.
This is the official Violet segment of the podcast. We're gonna get all the Violet clips from the most recent match against SI Peak Chick.
Dude,
Like
you know
Cloudy.
what? Violet is
I
kind
don't
of a
have a
short
clip.
farmer.
Someone
I
find
have a
it.
clip. I have a clip.
Realizing this
Great,
now.
great, great.
Hold up. Here we go. This is straight from Cloudy's Twitter. And the best part is this: we need Cloudy's like Twitter caption in this as well. We're gonna show the whole thing, including the caption and the video.
The official Violet clip segment is funny, very funny to me. Is this segment where it's just like us, the Violet clips of the week section,
Yeah, it actually is.
where it's just people just like we gotta check the Violet clips.
Dude, this
Going for
one is
hero plays.
crazy. Dude, I mean,
No way. That is a crazy clip.
that is insane.
That's
Captions
good.
welcome
Look
Violet
at
to
it.
Face It League.
Our champion. Dude, what's move,
Move
like old man.
man.
It's so good.
He did just hard strafe. He did,
did,
hard strafe,
yeah.
yeah. That's pretty funny.
Dude, he's not hitting the Juno like AD tapping that makes you impossible to fucking hit.
Look
Oh,
at
here
it.
we
The
go.
fact that
He's
Cloudy
hard
got
strafing.
dude,
He's
the
hard
fact that
strafing.
Cloudy had the vision to go for this, pun intended, Vision Esports. He like saw the vision, like, dude, I can get the pin here. I didn't even think you can get that pin. That's an insane pin. On be real with you. That's pretty crazy.
One of the best to ever do it. At least
This is the next clip. This is ML7 versus Violet 1v1.
Yeah,
Dude,
Violet.
this is this is so fucking stupid. He hits the first headshot, which is insane.
Oh,
I mean,
actually dominated him. Actually got his
kind of
ass
dominated him. And he Suzu for MO7 Suzu for no
He
reason.
sues it
too, like-
first. Yeah, he sues it
Perhaps
first.
is it finally time? Europe is better than Korea. We've done it.
No.
What does this
fun.
mean for Violet's legacy?
What does this mean
No.
for Violet's legacy now that he's in tier 2 EMEA 1v1ing ML7 and losing? What does it mean?
And then there's another clip right after this. Then Violet comes back and like tries to deal with him again. And ML7's like, "Who? Like, get out of my face!" And just gang kills him.
I mean, that is
So,
crazy.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do Violet's
He's
clip of
got
the
money.
week, and we're just people doing hero plays.
He
Fans
does have
submitting
money.
Hero play clips.
He does
Yeah.
have
He's
money.
got money.
We should call it the official Violet Hero Play segment or something. You know,
It's
I
not
think
Libero crypto money, but
he does got the money.
he's still got money.
Was this a Face It match? Or
Yeah.
Saudi
Yeah.
E-League?
Pretty sure.
It was,
Pretty sure
yes,
this is a face of the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
yeah.
Violet lose
He
this
kinda-
match?
Shit on him there.
Did Violet's team lose this match?
I actually don't know. That's a good question.
Because surely not. Because isn't the ML7 team? This is one with like Boger and shit, isn't it? Am I going crazy?
No. This is
Boger,
SI Peak Chick
Boger
is
is
the
a
team.
more of a rivals
Boger's
guy
not
now.
playing
Okay.
right now, I don't think.
SI Peak Chick is LH Cloudy's team.
Oh, it's LH
I
Cloudy.
mean,
okay.
LP, Sauna, like LP and like
Yeah, this
Sauna's
is a
good.
peak
Like
check.
LP's okay.
But did they?
you know?
Does anyone know if they lost this? Because
No, I just checked. They
Okay,
beat. They actually won 3-0. They actually beat
Okay.
SI Peak Chick
I
3-0.
was about to say, I was just making sure. I wouldn't think they would lose because like Vision is like legitimately trying to be like a real team after they got relegated.
Yeah.
So like it would be pretty embarrassing to lose to ML7.
In fact, I got the bracket. If anyone wants to keep up to date with where Violet is and how he's doing in Face It Masters right now, they're actually kind of winning. Vision is 6-0 right now in Face It. So
I mean, I would hope that Violet on
They
the tier 2
should
EMEA team would fucking win.
yeah.
They did not
Oh,
win the Saudi
Rates.
tournament though that qualified you for LCQ. So
go
Team
back
Vision,
to
they
they lost to Alcatia and Twisted Minds, which is understandable. You know, like those are the
right.
insane.
But I
teams.
think I don't think the theory of them trying to qualify for LCQ, picking up these players, I don't think that was far off.
True. I think this team is trying to like also sneakily make EWC if they can, but
Yeah.
the main goal of the team is to get into stage 3 is their stated goal. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
losing to
fair
TM and Alcatia is totally understandable.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. They saw a way though, and they tried. And here Violet is battling ML7. So that's crazy. Is it an increase or a decrease in Violet's aura? Like the fact Violet's out here playing Faces Masters, is it
I think
good
it was
for
a
the aura?
decrease. It was a decrease in aura, but I think showing up shamelessly and just like getting the money and like winning, but also still losing 1v1s to like ML7. I think that's an aura increase, paradoxically, because of the fact that you're showing up and winning, but you're losing 1v1s. Like it's sort of like, you know, like when a washed European soccer pro like football who moves to the States. And they're kind of just getting like, they get rolled every now and then, but like they're just winning still because their team's better because they spent all the money to make the good team. And I'm like, that's kind of an aura gain as well because you're still getting the money.
Yeah, I mean, like Messi is playing in, you know, MLS, for example. So that's probably like pretty static aura because now Messi get to play in front of all these Americans.
There's a way better example. Yeah. Ronaldo on Al Nassr is the best example. This is literally Ronaldo on Al Nassr.
I don't know about
what is
that.
Al Nassr?
Al Nassr is a Saudi. It's a Saudi football club, and Ronaldo is like one of the best players of all time. This is literally the 1-to-1 of Violet going to a Saudi team. Literally the 1-to-1 in comparison.
Yeah, we need to get a actual like football fan on here to share their opinion on what does this mean for Cristiano Ronaldo's legacy.
Just put Violet, just shop Violet's head on Cristiano Ronaldo in an Al Nassr jersey, and you got it. It's perfect.
He did score the game winner for Portugal in Nations League semifinals the other day. So still got it. CR7 still got it.
I think it only matters if Ronaldo plays or if Ronaldo gets relegated. Is that possible?
Violet makes almost as much money as Ronaldo, so he's not far off. So I mean,
that's true. I've been told
that was a got money reference. So just for the $200
million a year. From I understand, for Vision Esports.
199. Yeah, actually 199. Sorry, you got it wrong.
I was too busy trying to look up on the Nations League finals.
Dude, guys, by the way, I just want to say my iced latte, really good. It's got Biscoff in it. Also,
it's got what in it?
Biscoff, like the cookie,
Biscoff.
the cookie thing.
Also, advertising Tim Hortons.
My sinus has been acting up, and I know why. It's because right now I'm in Toronto. Right now, it has the second worst air quality in the world.
What?
Really?
Yeah, because there's wildfires.
Oh, yeah. Didn't that happen like last year as well? Like the full entire East Coast was.
Well, you have to remember that that's just going to happen every year now, Johnny. Like it's kind of just every year there's going to be an increasingly large national disaster.
Global warming.
Right.
So
that's the thing.
Yeah. But right now it's very bad. I think for last I checked, the only city with worse air quality in the world currently is Santiago, Chile. Chile mentioned.
This is why you guys can't comment on my Dyson air filter anymore. It's just real, okay?
I have an air filter. When I lived in LA, I had an air filter. So
look at this Common Canada L. Look at that. Unbelievable.
Common Canada L.
Wow. Yeah. Whoa, that was unwarranted.
Dude, it's gonna get worse.
I for one love the Canadian listeners.
All the Valorant players that are gonna come over, bro.
Yeah, and Sideshow.
Yeah, he's gonna decrease the
and
Valorant players and Sideshow.
Yeah, it'll be only get worse with Sideshow.
Wow. Well, speaking of which, Connor, you want to join our Daisy server?
Daisy. That was
we're thinking of doing a private one.
Well, does that work with a private one? Don't you need enough people in it?
We can do that.
Oh, I'm gonna say that it's a possibility. I will say I feel scammed when I played that game because I spent like a bunch of money to buy it, and then also it's really not good. So like, so it's kind of a piece of shit. So maybe we need to get more use out of it.
The mechanics suck, but it's kind of fun.
I just want to let you guys know that I'm essentially doing the equivalent of smoking 4 to 5 cigarettes a day right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's
so
fucking
added on
crazy.
top of the 4 or 5 you already smoke.
Wow,
it's kind of bad actually.
Wow. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just want to give a shout out to people who log on every day and play DayZ all the time. Like, I don't know. There's something about that lifestyle that I respect.
I've been watching a ton of like DayZ YouTube videos, and like all of them are like movie. This is the like premise, the movie or whatever, and it's like an hour and a bit of DayZ footage of them doing stuff. Dude, it's so good. They're all like cinematographers. It's kind of sick.
I think it's just for people that like don't have jobs that are like, what if I played a video game that was like a job? And like that's like DayZ.
It's for people who don't have a job, and also people who just have a job. And then they go home and play DayZ.
They go home, play some DayZ.
Maybe, but like it's a huge. I mean, like if you were gonna go work on, you're logging into your second job, man. And I'm like, that's a lot.
It can be a bit of a commitment. It depends on the server you join, I think. 'Cause the server we played on was the hardcore server, and that was a bit of a commitment. Also, we're already terrible at the game.
Speaking of jobs, I'm ready to talk about Crusty's job on GenG.
Wait, hold on. I just wanted to clarify what I respect about DC players. Okay, like when I play a game, either I'm like, oh, I want to compete and get good at this game, or I'm like, I want to acquire gear and improve my character and like do quests and like accomplish things. People who just play DC, like they just fucking run around and like they just, I don't know, shoot zombies and like, you know, they get some gear, I suppose, but then it can be gone the next day. Like they truly just for the love of the game.
Dude, it can be gone in like half a second without you even knowing, bro. Like you get sniped from the trees by a suppressed weapon.
Like, okay,
I'll try life over. Yeah, I have to go again. I have to spend another 6 hours getting.
I don't know. I respect something about that. That's
by the way, speaking about running around like zombies, I'm ready to talk about Mag on GenG. I'm gonna talk about Mag on GenG real quick.
All right, here we go. One of the worst C9s in quite a while.
Yeah, that Twisted Minds game was like an egregious
so
series.
I've seen the C9. I have not seen the entirety of the series. What the fuck, essentially, is my question. Like, what has happened here? Why is this team? How is GenG possibly about to get relegated?
Real quick for the people that didn't watch this game, anyone who thought the Crazy Raccoon Falcons game was one-sided, I found an even more one-sided game. It's called GenG versus TM. So, by the way, we saw a full cap out from Crazy Raccoon versus Falcons on the best map of Runasapi. GenG, I don't know what the best map is, but that cap out on Runasapi was way worse because they did this within 5 minutes. It was 0 meters, and if we might as well watch it. The ending of the actual cap out involved basically like it was KSA, right? He was just standing on payload, literally standing still, not moving, capping the payload into the map, dodging a sleep dart while standing still. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that was one of the worst endings in quite a time. Here we go.
I mean, this team could literally get relegated, right? Because looking at their upcoming matches,
I mean, below them is Frosttails, and then there's Peps as well. So Peps would have to.
Yeah, but the thing is, they have a very short because one of their last matches is Katsia, so they're probably losing that one. Then they're playing 100 DPS versus 100 Gorillas.
100. No,
one dip
versus
versus 100 Gorillas. Yeah, sorry, one dip.
But they could lose that for sure because they're good. Yeah,
they could lose to that team. They could lose to fucking to Willy's Wonderland.
Okay, now get ready. Watch KSA. Get ready. It's about to happen.
I mean, here comes the push. Mag, who are you? The commentators are like, oh, there's a bit of a fight. Yeah, they're cleaning up. Mag, who are you? They're cleaning up.
He's touching the whole time.
And then watch Mitch's reaction. Keep rolling. Watch Mitch's reaction.
Yeah,
I don't know if we got audio or not, but the audio is amazing. Mitch and Matt actually they covered this beautifully. It was amazing.
Yeah, like visually, like because like I think we all had our expectations. Not high. I wouldn't say we had our expectations high for GenG, but there was still like
pause it right there.
You want to give them a level of respect, and you're like, they kind of, I don't know.
I mean, it just shouldn't. I mean, but the thing is, from the beginning, looking at GenG, when we talked about their roster, like going into this, and we did the power rankings, I looked at this roster from the beginning. I was like, this roster was assembled by someone who's been taking like insane amounts of opium and like sitting out in like a den. And like the roster from the beginning was fucking madness. It was Lovecraftian. I'm like, what is this roster? Like this roster is fucked up. Like I don't understand like what was happening here with this roster. Like the change has been made, like everything that's occurred. I mean, also even though Mag has been memed on in terms of like I do think he's over memed on, but also Mag still has been like not amazing necessarily. Like, but overall, it's just like this whole roster is so fucked. And I don't really, it's like as fucked as the Twisted or as the Ultimates roster in terms of like what they were doing. Like, I'm just like, the EMEA roster construction, like the GMs are hitting the Pinjamin multiple times sometimes. I mean, technically, I guess the GM here is Crusty. Crusty was hitting the fucking Pinjamin. The Crusty crackpipe was insanity. I'm going to find him like somewhere in the streets of Toronto if he ever decides to show up for something. I don't know why he'd be here, but he's going to be outside with his crackpipe, just smoking it out.
You brought up something interesting, by the way. I have a question for everyone. What's the more disappointing team right now? Ultimates or GenG?
Oh my god!
Ultimates.
You
Definitely
actually
Ultimates. Definitely
kind of-
Ultimates.
You kind of stole our members question for the day, which I forgot to bring up. But the members question of the week was from Jelly Shark. So we can kind of tie this in was, which partner team has been a bigger letdown this stage, GenG or SSG? So the Ultimates is not a partner team.
Okay, first of all,
guess
it's
we
not
could,
even close. It's not even close.
Yeah.
This one.
GenG,
I kind of agree, yeah.
especially after the recent dude, it's fucking
SSG are
crazy
fine.
how bad this team is right now. It's ridiculous. It's going to implode or like explode. Like it doesn't. It's this team's stuff.
Implode or explode, either.
It'll
One of
do,
the two.
it'll
It
do
doesn't matter.
imploding of some
It'll
sort.
do implode.
Implode
At
at
least-
some point.
At least SSG made Hangzhou. They went to the
Yes.
stage final. At least they did that.
Yes.
GenG
Yes.
are nowhere close.
And
Oh,
also,
but
they're at
this
least
stage, yeah, people are talking
competitive
about-
with teams at times.
Yeah, and SSG, like they were 1-3, but they had really tough matchups. They should like sweep the rest of the way and make
Yeah.
top 4 in NA, and they'll
Like
they'll be
they
fine.
at least have like a hope, and like they're very likely they're not going to get relegated, and they're
Yeah.
playing in
Yeah.
a region with bunch of strong teams. Like
Whereas GenG have like the quick esports team and then Alcatia, and they could lose both. They definitely will lose Alcatia, and they're probably going to lose the X quick as well.
yeah,
Probably. So it's not like which means the record is going to end up being 2-5.
So here's my question, Avril. Why does Crusty? I guess my question is, since I understand it won Stockholm, but like, does getting relegated out of OWCS while being a partner team not hurt? I'm not. Also, I'm
Does it
not even
hurt?
anti.
Yeah, it hurts.
I'm not
Yes,
even
it
anti.
hurts.
I'm
What do
not.
we-
I'm also not even anti Crusty. I just want to like stir the pot. I just want to stir the pot.
I mean,
Because
the
I
answer
feel
is
like
yes, it
being
hurts.
relegated in OWCS while being a partner team and being a coach with like that much history is like, that's like a generational like what the fuck happened moment.
Yeah. I mean,
The only way-
put it this way, it hurts the legacy an unfathomable amount. Like, there's just, you can't come away from this season if they do end up getting relegated. Maybe they should be fucking regulated, but
They should be
and not
regulated.
say
The European
and not
Union
say
getting
that-
together, everyone getting together, like
yeah, they
okay,
are
we gotta put some more
right now. They're
regulations on
violating
GenG.
GDPR, like straight up. They are violating that shit because their team is so ass. Like, there's no way you can say that Crusty is one of the best coaches of all time after this season if they get relegated.
I mean, it's been
Well,
it's been an
no, hang
extreme-
on. This
Oh,
is
wait.
this is the
Copium?
Fleta argument, right? Where Fleta was MVP and then he swapped the tank for one season, looked like ass, and it kind of fucked his legacy a little bit. Not gonna lie.
Okay,
Role
okay.
swapping,
So- okay,
though.
so this is-
Crusty's not
but-
role swapping.
He's coaching
He's
in Europe.
region swapping.
He's coaching
region
in Europe.
swapping.
That's a role swap. That's essentially a coach role swap. If you have to move to a different region. If you
No, I don't
about
think that's true. I don't
it's
think
essentially
that's
a
true.
coach role swap.
You also
It's
have to
kinda
keep
sad
it
to
in the
say,
back of your
but-
mind that Crusty had the San Francisco Shock. That was essentially Crazy Raccoon, kind of,
Of
and
2023 roster.
yeah, you have to keep that in the back of your mind. I'm just saying. This is not Fleta swapping the tank for one
But
season.
also, Crusty did Boston season 1 with the perfect stage. So
Yeah, I'm just saying, keep it in the back of your mind. I don't have
up.
an opinion. I'm just saying,
Boston
remember.
season
Remember.
Now,
this.
I
how
will say I was pretty integral to that, so maybe not all on
No,
Crusty.
you fuck.
Now, how much
Maybe
how
not.
much did he
The
coach?
biggest-
How much Crusty
the
coaching
biggest
did you
thing
get?
Contributed was your fucking trading card, buddy.
Not
That was
true.
the only thing. That
Not
no. Look at the stats.
I would
on the
say
back of
I
the
would say
trading
I
card.
received very little Crusty coaching. Crusty coaching. Say that 10 times. Crusty coaching. Crusty. I mean, I think you have to do. I think overall, though, for me, when I look at Crusty and I look at this, to me, it's a bigger letdown than doing badly in the Overwatch League. And the reason why is because if you're a partner team in OWCS right now, you essentially comparatively have infinitely more resources than like a non-partner team, just because of the fact that like you can at least pay a salary of some sort typically. I don't know. I mean, like, obviously, I guess this might be one of the first times that EMEA might have more money just in general because of the Saudi money. But like, I don't know. I think to me, like, this is just like a pretty big hit. And also, since I know there's no GM here, maybe Crusty needs a real GM, to my knowledge, because I don't know if there's like a GM at GenG that's like working with him. Because like technically, it's Shock and helping build those rosters. Like he had a GM. He had Chris, Mr. Thug Nasty Chris, with him the whole time, who's now technically like the Falcons Esports like holistic GM / head of competitive operations. Actually saw him at DreamHack. He's chilling. But they like I do think this is like kind of like a very different situation for them. It's just like how maybe not having the GM.
What would a GM do for him? Like,
Maybe the problem is he doesn't
Might
have someone to
free him
cross check. It might also maybe someone to cross check his crack pipe. Be like, do you think this is a good idea, Crusty? Like, could be something like that.
Is
Solomon, I don't know what happened to the show, but I can only see myself now.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Solomon might have disappeared. I'm not sure.
I'm here, but I definitely can't see anyone else. So,
No.
is Solomon still here?
This is like having a phone call where you can't see the other person. You can just hear their voice.
Except you don't. Well, yeah. Except I don't know. We're still live on YouTube.
I don't know. I'm adding Solomon in the chat.
I
Yeah.
think we're still live. We might as well continue. I'm looking at the YouTube right now. It looks like
Solomon
we're still
says
live.
it's
so-
fine. It's just
okay.
everything's fucked where we can't
All
see
right.
each other.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I was going to ask this to kind of like reset. Just comparing GenG's roster to the rest of the region. I don't know if you can still hear me. Hello?
Yes,
Yeah, we can
I
hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you.
It's
It's just the
frozen now,
the
my
feed's
end, so I
fucked
got-
up. The
yeah,
feed's
yeah,
fucked
yeah.
up, but we can
But-
hear. The audio's fine.
But like you compare GenG's roster to Virtus Pro, and you're like, okay, well, Virtus Pro, a better team. Alcadzia are better than last stage. Twisted Minds, they've improved throughout the entire season. Like they started out pretty rough in stage 1, but they've improved, I think, like, all the way, like consistently until now. And then the Ultimates, I'm still looking at the Ultimates, and I'm like, fuck, I wish you guys did better. But I'm like, I'm not, like, looking at GenG's roster, I'm not hugely surprised that they're like the 4th, 5th best team in the region. Like, when they picked up Who Are You, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, yeah, I'll put some respect on Who Are You's Genji, but like, Who Are You is not going to solve all of GenG's problems. So like, it kind of is a middle of the table roster, just comparing it to some of the other great rosters in this region. So on one end, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? On the other end, I'm like, actually, this is kind of like in line with my expectations for this roster going into stage 2. I think it's just the way they're losing, where we're like, oh, why is Mag all time on Diva? Like, why did they see Nano or something? Like, there's something a little bit off about the way they're playing these compositions and the way they're losing some of these matches. But I actually think, like, expectation wise, I wouldn't say it's like as good of a roster as some of the Virtus Pro or Twisted Minds, stuff like that.
For sure.
Exodial is obviously great, but Exodial, I think Exodial is not as comfortable on Freya as some of the other heroes. So I also can't just carry by themselves. Like I still put so much respect on Exodial. I think Exodial is a fantastic ASCAM player, but obviously it's not working for GenG right now. So
Yeah, I just think this roster should have been different. It just from the beginning, I was like, this roster doesn't seem very impressive on paper, but I'm willing to give it a shot because I'm not like the European head, and obviously with like my schedule now with like watching mostly Korea and then North America, I haven't seen as much Europe.
yeah,
so
we
I'm
know
just
because
like-
you hate on the region all the time.
Correct.
He
Correct.
does do that.
Though I will
a
say
lot.
this is the first time ever where Europe might have more money in Overwatch, where Europe might have more money in it than North America, which is funny.
So
But
you're gonna come over here now? You're gonna chase the money?
no,
Oh, okay.
it's not worth. But I do think overall, like, it's just GenG. This shouldn't have happened. I don't think the roster construction made a lot of sense, and I think maybe they needed a GM. Potentially, if they don't have a GM in the room with Crusty, like, this could just be an issue where like Crusty gets to run free and doesn't get checked, or maybe just something else, like just someone to cross it. Because I remember at least in season 1 Boston, Crusty like got a lot of input on the roster, but there was a lot of back and forth, and then they kind of like built that season 2 roster for Shock. And I don't know how, legitimately, when I really think about it, if you really think, how much roster building from the ground up has Crusty really done? Technically.
What, since his like
This is stuff I'm not willing to speak on because I have no fucking idea.
yeah.
Well, I'm just because like for Shock, right? They had a bunch of staff around them. They've always had assistant coaches like around them. They've always had GMs to like check him. Season 1 Boston, I can speak of personal experience that like there was Huck and Shake and a bunch of people like Minnie and people like kind of all weighing in, and he didn't get to like, all of his picks necessarily. And then kind of their roster stayed kind of static until they had to make some big changes. Then when they started making big changes, that's when the Shocks like started to have some worse seasons and worse seasons. Then you go to Falcons, and like Falcons is like, okay, what if we just buy all the best players? Like, okay, pretty easy.
Well, they actually
Like-
just picked up an existing team, actually.
Yeah, true. They picked up that team. They picked up that team with like Fearless, right?
Hamster.
Yeah, Hamster. So Like, I don't know. It's just something interesting to think about. Like, is Crusty a roster builder, or is he someone that like can help build good rosters but needs extra help to actually do that?
Yeah, it sounds like he just needs more help. He needs more backroom staff kind of thing. Because if it's only him doing all this extra shit, like, yeah, maybe he can't fully be blamed. And I don't know. I don't necessarily want to put the full blame on him. I just think the team is just
I don't even like know this stuff, so I don't really want to speak on it because I don't know who's doing the roster. So like, why would we opinionate on this?
I'm postulating because essentially that's
what
we're
postulating. Okay,
we're not based off the knowledge I know. I'm based off the knowledge I know. Like Crusty's always had help building rosters, and the GenG, like I don't know if there is any help for him to build a roster. And then I look at this, I'm like, wow, this is the most fucking fucked up roster I've ever fucking seen. Like, what are we doing here? So, I mean, well, there's been worse rosters, but like not in OWCS in terms of a partner team. So
yeah, because like I don't like in situations like this. Like I don't even like blame the players. Like I'm just like because I love some of these players, and I'm like you can do way better than you're currently performing. So it's in a way I just feel like bad for them. I'm like, this shit is not working, and I feel bad for you guys because, like, obviously you can perform at a way better stage. But like when you're C9ing like this and you're off killed, like I don't know if that I just made that word, but like when you're playing some of these compositions and you're obviously not on the same page, it feels like shit because obviously you feel like you can play at a way better level, but you're not putting it together as a team, and that feels garbage. So in some way, I kind of just feel bad for the players because I know they can play better than this, but they obviously are struggling to put it together. And
I will say. It's still a W for Exodial because they did beat Peps. So
sure.
Technically, he did upgrade. Technically speaking.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
He's not winning OWCS yet, which I think he still is. Not maybe not the team, but him specifically. I think Exodial still got a good future ahead of him. But yeah,
they got a huge game tomorrow.
They need to. I mean, the other problem is about EMEA right now. I actually think EMEA is way more fun to watch right now, far more competitive than NA, just given the fact that there's way more teams that are like similar level and competing against each other. But that's bad for a team like GenG because they ran into one of the few stages where one of the teams coming up from relegation is actually a very competitive team in this X-Quick roster, this 1 Dip vs 100 Gorillas roster, which I believe there was an actual rumor about where they're going, by the way. They're going to some Saudi football club, apparently. So watch out for that announcement in the future. So, yeah, it's actually on NASA, by the way. It's Ronaldo. No, it's not. It's different.
That's why I'm also saying if that rumor is true, that's what I'm saying. This would be the first time in a long time that Europe probably has more money than North America, which is very funny. Which is very funny to think about in the context of like Overwatch Esports.
Ultimates and Al-Qudsi are not partners, but they're putting money into their rosters. They're actually dumping money.
And
into
also on top of it, Vision as well in tier 2, right?
So there's a bunch of teams that are competitive. And yeah, Vision's coming up. You have to imagine that Vision is going to be a very competitive team in the relegation. So if GenG get relegated, they're going to have to go up against Vision. Think about that. And I think Vision probably beats them at this point.
Imagine Crusty losing in relegation to Violet, his former player.
That would be an aura match, bro. Holy fuck.
That would be pretty funny to like where Crusty and Violet meet up in tier 2 EMEA essentially. And Crusty loses.
One of the best like WWE storylines in Overwatch.
Yeah, it would be.
That would be.
It would be very, very tragic but funny.
Now.
Violet
very,
and Crusty.
Very tragic but funny. If that does occur. So
you when you did bring up Vision there, I just had I just had a vision, no pun intended. But I did kind of think about the time when the general manager of Vision, when they like pitched it in, I don't know, the Discord call or whatever, I was like, hey guys, what if we pick up Violet? Like, how much do you think about to spend? We can get Violet, one of the best support players of all time. Like, are we willing to go through with this? Like, how many thousands of dollars per month do we need to offer Violet here? Like, this would be a sick pickup for us. I just love the idea of that conversation taking place about Vision discussing like, holy shit, we can get Violet.
You know, all my interactions with the Vision Esports GM has been really funny because like I think it's like Skinge or Sking is their like name. And I remember there was the one time where like they really complained on broadcast about stuff and they were baby raging. And I was like, yeah, these guys are fucking babies. And the Vision Esports gym was like, actually, I'm not a baby. I'm like, yeah, you are. And then they pick up Violet. I'm like, what a great move. And he's like, yeah, I'm a hustler. I'm like, yeah, you are, bro. You're a hustler. Like, I've had some very alternated interactions with the Vision Esports gym where, you know, I don't, not a positive or negative. It's a very neutral currently, a neutral feeling.
I think they probably didn't have to offer him as much as people think, because Violet was probably looking for an excuse to leave Korea anyway, because one of the rumors is that he is trying to delay his military service. He's doing the Fearless strategy. The Fearless strategy, for those that don't know, last year was that Fearless, essentially, he was on that original hamster roster with Harbin and Proper Stalk and everybody. The reason why he had to leave and Smith replaced him is because Fearless was getting the call up. He's getting drafted into the military. And so he said, the only way I can delay this is if I get onto a team outside of Korea, which is why he ended up playing for Zeta during EWC. But then right after EWC, basically he just had to go to military, right? So the rumor is that Violet's in the same situation where he's like, I need to get out of Korea. And Vision's like, all right, we got a deal. So that's how it worked out, apparently.
You see, Animo is out of military now. He just got out.
It's finally time for Animo to return.
Come back. Yeah, it was like a month or two
Come
ago,
back. So
right?
he's looking for opportunities in Overwatch. So yeah, just let you know.
I like Animo.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, Animo. GenG might have an opening soon.
Yeah. We're so back.
I think he's probably looking at coach, though, right?
That's what I'm saying. GenG might have an opening soon. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
Well, maybe he could be an assistant coach. I don't know, because I don't know what GenG staff is outside of Crusty, essentially.
Also, I said this after. I didn't do this because I thought it was fun. It's partially funny, but I did this just because like I had a genuinely good idea. But after GenG lost to Twisted Minds, I went and checked on Rack Attack just to see how my poor son was doing. And I said to him, I was like, dude, at this point, because they're playing Zox on the team for, I don't know why they're playing Zox on main support. And I'm like, Rack, you should just play main support. You should just be on this team and play main support. And then Rack goes, yeah, but then like the import limits, and then we'd have to probably get rid of Mag. I'm like, I'm not seeing the problem. That sounds good to me. I don't see the issue with that. Yeah, Hardy's available. Get Hardy in for Mag. You play on the roster as the main support, actually. And the team's fixed.
I don't know if the team's fixed. Maybe it'd be at least something.
That's right. You're right. Crusty's still there. We got to replace him with Animo. Then it'll be fixed. Or maybe Flitter. Or possibly Flitter, actually.
Also, I think Rack's kind of chilling right now. I saw him at DreamHack, and he was kind of being chilling currently because he's going to school right now.
Off. Rack's doing great.
I bet he's probably just happy. He's like, it's like, yeah, it's like, that's the best part of being associated with an organization when their team's doing bad competitively. It's like, you are like, not my problem. Like, it's like, that's not my problem. Like, you're kind of just there, but like, it's like, not your problem. So that's probably how Rack's feeling currently.
Yeah, Rack is crushing it this stream.
My face went Surmajed right now for Falcons.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have any NBA people here on the panel, but I was kind of cooking on a take, but I don't think it works, so I didn't really believe with it.
Do you want to talk about the Halaban?
But no.
We don't have any NBA people on the panel, but ironically, we have someone that's NBA hyped on the panel.
Was absolutely insane, but because it's you gotta understand like the history of the legacy for me to make this comparison. But I was kind of cooking a take in the back that Crusty is the Doc Rivers of Overwatch, but Crusty has won too much, like it doesn't really work, but essentially someone that like, you know, won a championship and then has just been picked up for these huge rosters, but never been able to equal that success. So it doesn't really work because Crusty, you know, held Falcons like really successful over time. But I was just kind of cooking that, but I didn't leave with it. So I just brought it up.
Put that in the chamber a bit longer.
Yeah, I put that in the chamber a little bit longer. Yeah.
In the chamber a bit longer.
Yeah, I put it in the chamber a bit longer. All right. Now, I wanted to bring up a few screenshots here, actually, from our comments from a couple of weeks ago. Just getting the community involved here a little bit. I am going through the trenches because genuinely, sometimes I like, you know, engaging with the listeners, the community who stick around for this.
To be fair, generally, sometimes I like to engage with the listeners of our community.
No, yeah, because like, you know, it's common knowledge these days that you shouldn't browse comments on any website or be on any social media platform. But
yeah.
I'll take a look at our comments sometimes. I'll take a look at our comments because I like engaging with the comments. I press a few likes and stuff like that. So I got 3 comments.
Very AI generated just then. That was all. Like,
yeah, well, I'm trying. Here we go. First one from MCDJMC. Kevster is like Adam Banks playing for the Hawks in the Mighty Ducks movie, and it needs to be moved over to the Ducks to succeed.
What? Okay, first of all, why the Mighty Ducks reference? Mighty
Who's
Ducks
Adam
reference?
Banks?
But bro, I don't even remember fucking Mighty Ducks. I'm surprised anyone remembers Mighty Ducks. This many plot points of the Mighty Ducks.
It was really
films.
popular in Sweden because Sweden is a hockey country. So
The Mighty Ducks were?
yeah, Mighty Ducks was a popular. Yeah, because like how many hockey movies were there? So yeah, Sweden, hockey country. So yeah, people watch Mighty Ducks. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I guess that's fair.
I have no idea.
To be fair, I can't even remember who Adam Banks is either. But
No,
I'm pretty
I can't
sure
remember- I can't
it was like the antagonist of the movie, but then they recruited the antagonist to the protagonist team, and then they like won with
yeah,
like
I think I want to
the bad
say
bully kid or whatever.
he was like a really good player on the opposite team for the Mighty Ducks, and the Mighty Ducks were struggling, and they're like, "Come play for us in our miracle run," and then he makes the move, and then Mighty Ducks like pop the fuck off essentially.
Yeah, he was like the bad boy teenager, like, oh, you suck, bam, and then they
I'm not really gonna say
Kevster
Kevster has got bad boy aura though, but like that's like I do think I can
Kevster
understand.
has the best player on the other team you're trying to beat energy. So
yeah.
Oh right.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
And
I mean,
so-
I respect the Mighty Ducks reference though, simply because like I don't know, maybe I'm misunderstanding, or maybe I'm out of touch, but I feel like Mighty Ducks is not a reference that's super popular.
I don't know. I love it though.
I think it's
To
quite
me,
an
I
old
feel like the
film,
current
but-
generation of
respect.
youngsters have never seen Mighty Ducks.
Okay, well they're missing out. You know, like they're honestly okay. So as a Swedish person, like I said, like I watched Mighty Ducks because it was a hockey country, and so we watched a hockey movie. But like I didn't grow up with golf, and so I didn't watch. They're releasing this second on Netflix next month. The Adam Sandler golf thing.
Oh,
Happy
Happy
Gilmore?
Gilmore?
Yeah, so like I didn't watch
Okay,
Happy Gilmore.
okay. Happy Gilmore is not.
It's not
It's
the
not
most
a
popular
movie
Swedish
about
movie.
golf, really.
No, but
it's not really.
sure, yeah, it's a
movie
comedy,
about
whatever. But like that's my point. Like when I was young, that was not like a movie that was people were watching. So,
You know what, Johnny?
but we
I
watched Mighty Ducks.
I want the opinion of the current Swedish youth. So we need to ask Willies if
Yeah.
Mighty Ducks is still popular in Sweden, as the current generation of Swedish youth
That's
he
true.
is.
I'd love
Dude,
to
wait.
ask Willis about it,
Modern
yeah.
day Mighty Ducks, but they're black hat hackers and they're called Mighty Docs. Think about that, huh? So think about that.
There you go.
Anything?
Speaking of Willis, we spoke last episode. We spoke about Willis' nickname.
Willie's the menace. He's
Willie the Kid will be him. Yeah, because
I will say, by the way-
Will
him.
be
That
him.
sounds fun.
we were Will
like
Bin
them
or
both.
Will Sang were our suggestions, but people speculated in the comments. So
I will say the Willies was missing this week for the X Quick versus Alcacia game. So Quick did not look good versus Alcacia. Also, Alcacia looked obviously like the top team or right next to TM, maybe 1 or 2 in the EMEA. But yeah, I think we probably would have gotten a better showing out of the roster if Willies was there. I don't know why Willies wasn't. Was Willie?
he was on, vacation. Yeah, he was on
Okay.
vacation. Yeah, so the coach tweeted it out. Don't pick
Where
up
did he go,
Willis for
Norway?
your fantasy team because Will is on vacation. That was their official announcement. So I love that. They for the people who try to play fantasy, they try to change that up. So yeah, Willis should be back. I'm assuming for they have back to back. So they have 2 matches this weekend. So that'll be
Willies is
good
coming.
weekend.
Willies is coming back just in time to beat Mag. Is he?
Apparently,
Willies versus Mag
it's gonna be a
matchup.
big matchup. Yeah, these two teams they're kind of
Honestly,
fighting to.
After that TM game, anything could happen with GenG. I don't even know. That's like too hard to predict. No joke.
All right, those are our screenshots. Do I have anything to say about NA before we take our leave and
Oh
say
yeah.
goodbye? Like I said, it's a Friday episode, so it's a bit weird because there'll be matches and there's no
I mean,
point.
also, is it really
Yeah.
any different than doing it earlier in the week? Because in the day, our points
it is.
either way. What's the difference? We get more news, and
Tell me
now
something.
Because we
And-
recap the matches and we're like, here's our opinion based on the results, but our opinion is going to change based on the results tomorrow.
I got
wouldn't
something to say about
wouldn't that
NA.
do the same shit if we did it Tuesday?
Well,
be the
because
same
people
thing,
get
yes.
4 or 5 days to digest it and then get ready for next week's matches. I'm just saying,
Well, thankfully,
if we give
thankfully,
our opinion on teams now and then they're just dead tomorrow, like then
What's the difference? They're dead either way.
okay, but it's better
Both
to
of
do
you
it
have the
as
correct
soon after
opinion.
match. Dude, what the fuck?
I do not care. Please move on.
What are
I
you
do not care.
trying to do?
I
About?
don't
of-
argue,
speaking of-
damn it.
Obvious.
There's pollution coming from the fires, getting into my fucking the basement. It's getting smoky. My throat's closing up. Okay, it's just
Guys,
I need to start something to
He has the
live.
fucking
we discussed
brain
this.
fog.
Avast is on his debate arc. This is what he's doing.
That's true.
That is true.
So
yeah.
we don't have audio for this one. That's fine. We don't need audio for this one because I think the only one that may not know what's going on here is Avast. So he can just react to everyone's facial
Why
expressions
do you think
afterwards. But I
about
know
what?
But you'll see. I know that Johnny and Jaws knows what this is. So this is not going to be a commentary about a team's performance. This is just a timeless commentary about something else.
Oh,
instead.
bro, the fucking
No,
toilet paper.
I posted this clip. I posted this clip on social. I posted the same clip.
Okay,
I know this clip.
All right, that's fine. We'll play for the viewers, and we're all going to smile and pretend we know what's going on because we're all here. We can't hear the audio, but Jake and Johnny will literally. In fact, you guys didn't even talk during this moment. Jack. Sorry, Jack. Names that start with J.
They're probably talking right now as we're talking over that one, but yeah, we have the.
We got closed captions.
What was the question? How many
wipes do you use to the toilet paper? And they said that I think who was it? Sugar
Someone
Free
said half a roll. Yeah.
I think Sugar Free was like I used like half the fucking roll when I took a shit or something.
Yeah. It's like how do you use half a roll? Or half a roll, I suppose.
That's crazy.
And also that's why you should have a bidet because you use less toilet paper.
Bidets go crazy, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to wet the ass.
There is one thing. What?
You still wipe your ass, man. You don't just wet
you
it and walk away.
Yeah, but it's
did you just quote the lyrics to a Megan Thee Stallion song? What did you say?
Whoa, no. Okay, you called it Megan the Stallion. Megan the Stallion.
Shut up. I will say jalapeno. I will say jalapeno if I want to, and you won't be able to stop me.
Jalapeno and Megan. Isn't Megan that one horror movie of like the girl that's like a little robot and she's
What's
like...
What's the difference? It's spelled the same way. What's the difference? One is a horse and the other one is not. One is a stallion, the other one's a robot. What's the difference?
Megan.
My brain is hurting. It's cooking. It's like the smog in Toronto. It's cooking my brain.
You know, I side with AVRL here because I'm Swedish. I've done that mistake plenty of times.
It's not a mistake. It's not a mistake.
Stephanie did correct me on how to say jalapeno a lot of times. Yeah, so I went through that process. Yeah.
I will say
jalapeno.
The way I know.
That's worth mentioning, and that was fucking nightmare hard trolling in their series versus Extinction.
Did they hard troll?
Where they fucking watch Point Gibraltar and they went Mercy Lifeweaver, and then they both full capped, but then Extinction won the game. Like they were hard trolling with that comp. I don't know if maybe it worked once in scrims, but I doubt it very much. It was an unbelievable troll, and it went to map 5 when everybody's like, "What the fuck is happening, bro?"
Didn't Nightmare beat Liquid with the Lifeweaver?
Yeah, but that's different.
That was the BAP Lifeweaver, right? The fact they played Mercy on Gibraltar, which apparently then afterwards people were like, no, there might be something to Mercy like once in a while. And I'm like,
yeah.
Well, sure. Mercy, but the thing is, Mercy's always been an occasional pick on like Gibraltar, or even like a meta pick, you know?
But like that was like an egregious troll, because then they went back to like a default like Curie or whatever the fuck it was.
It did not work, bro.
It didn't work as well. Like that series was just like, how the fuck are you going to come off a 3-0 against Liquid, and then you go to map 5 versus Extinction? It was a very ugly series.
It was good practice for me, honestly, Jack, with you to commentate like a map where you're like, this is kind of pointless. Like, and in hindsight, I felt bad because we were putting down the Mercy so much. We were just like, oh, this is just, what is this? This is.
I will continue to shit on it because it was not good.
Yeah.
And as you know, Jaws hates Mercy mains and is against Mercy.
So true, bro.
And
that weapon skin, though.
It's a nice weapon skin.
The weapon skin has a bug at the moment. If you POV someone else after POVing Mercy, it plays the fucking Yahoo, fucking bear or whatever.
You hear it everywhere,
dude. It was a global sound effect. Yeah, it's like a global sound effect. It was on Hazard POV. And then it was like you would still fucking hear it. Like it was super annoying. I did report it.
I love like glitches like that. Like back when like on Junkertown, if you just joined the car before the doors opened, it would just
crash the server. Yeah, not quite the same effect, but yeah, it was.
But
funny.
I love shit that's like very like funny.
That's
like that.
An ancient one that not a lot of people remember is the complexity one at DreamHack, where if you Sombra impede, the entire server crashed. And so, but they couldn't figure out why the server crashed. And so I swear to God, they played the map like 3-4 times, and then they figured out that the Sombra EMP was the thing that crashed the server. And so they said no Sombra, which obviously hurt complexity because I think they liked playing Sombra at the time. And so it's just stupid shit like that.
There was another one in Overwatch League where 2 Sombras EMPing at the same time would crash an observer.
Oh, that's
we
the
just,
Lucio.
Right.
That's Lucio.
Oh, was that
beating.
Lucio?
Oh yeah, it
beat?
was Lucio. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was crash the fucking so we just like would lose observers, and they're like, "Oh, DC, like I need to get back in." Like that shit was funny as hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't watch this game, so I didn't realize I
just
lost
troll,
this
bro.
thing.
Like
it was kind of
it just
troll.
didn't feel good, man. Like the fucking Weaver Mercy.
I mean,
Some
Weaver
balls
has
amazing on
people have
Tracer,
been
I'll say that,
trying to
but-
use Weaver
The
repeatedly
Weaver-
throughout
Yeah,
this
they are,
whole
they are.
stage.
It's
Like people
serious.
just
Not
keep
bad.
on trying to use Weaver. No, it is
working,
kind
though.
of bad. It is.
But-
I don't
but-
love it. It is still kind of bad.
bro. You seen the Circuit Royale defense?
No,
You're on
I've
crack.
listen.
This
I've
is
seen
bad.
like Jaehong make it work. I've seen the Weaver do things. Trust me, it's just one of those situations where I'm just like, like I feel like you could probably just do better with a different support,
Dude,
Even though it's a very
Kaffa
niche
in the
pocket pick.
interview was literally like, "We're gonna keep playing until someone
it-
figures it out because
Yeah,
no
until
one's
someone
figured
figures
it
it
out
out,
how
yeah.
to beat it."
Yeah.
I
tell you
just
what,
think
though,
it's not that good.
I'll tell you what though. That's
I
one
think you're
thing.
on crack.
Gibraltar's one thing. What the hell happened on Runasapi and Kings Row afterwards?
Okay,
This
so
is a 5-map
Runasapi,
series.
Somba dominated. Somba
Yeah.
just out of this world performance took over the
It
game on
was-
Tracer.
Ridiculous, man. Like insane shit from the DPS from Extinction. It was yeah. I think Zomba almost had like a life game against Nightmare.
It was amazing. And then they just banned Tracer map 5. And they're like, "Okay, Somba,
Yeah, and
sorry."
they went to Kings, and then they did win in the end. But like, it shouldn't have been that close. That was the most like insane shit of the weekend because everything else was kind of like 3-0s.
It was kind of like if T1 lost with Donghack on Tracer,
Well-
but then they would have lost map 4 too, and you were like, "Oh my god, they went to map 5 against T1." Where it's like, okay, well,
Speaking of
Hold
insane shit, what about GK versus Team Liquid? Because now you have to have the conversation where Zera hopped off GK to go to Team Liquid, and GK won without Zera, which is pretty crazy.
I mean, the team is still like ridiculous. Like GK, like the backline is absurd on GK. So I think that was, the most. Would you say that was the funnest one of the weekend, Johnny? I think it was.
yeah,
that's
that's Fine Mapper. That was a fucking banger.
I mean,
yeah, this was a great
yeah.
match. Yeah, I had to joke.
This one was fun in a different way. Like my god, the amount of games we had, or like maps we had, was fucking crazy that day. Because we had 3 series as well.
Yeah,
it was a good weekend actually.
Liquid GK. I said this afterwards, but it was the first 5-map series we had entire stage.
That was it.
Because all of NA and
Is
then
that
3
the
also
pronounce?
3-1,
Is that
so.
the proper pronunciation? Is GK? I like. Geeky.
I just say GK. I don't give
I
a
like
fuck, dude.
geeky esports.
I don't
You
give
know,
a
it's
fuck.
funny.
GK
Kaffa said the
sounds-
same thing. He's like GK or GK. I'm not sure.
I like geeky.
It's kind of funny.
Geeky
GK
esports.
sounds better because GK is also like I guess the abbreviation is the letter G and the letter K anyway, so it works both
GK.
ways. You can say GK as the abbreviation, but
yeah.
GK is also the full name
GK.
team. It just sounds better anyway.
Funky.
But
Go on.
at this point, it is funny that both the Nightmare rosters, the former Nightmare roster and the current Nightmare roster, are the best teams in NA, right? With GK probably being the number one
Yeah,
team
it's
in
kind
NA
of funny.
overall.
It's kind of funny.
Nightmare just knows what's going on.
The strength of schedule for both those teams, like they have each other in the last week. Like week 6, GK versus Nightmare. That is going to be a fucking slapper in week 6.
Yeah.
But everything else is like pretty stock standard. I mean, SSG should win the rest of their games unless they like fuck up super bad.
Yeah. That was a really good series between Liquid and GK.
Yeah,
It
map
was, but
5. Yeah, it was good.
There was also
Really
a couple
fun.
of maps in there where you're like, okay, like the result made sense. Like Runasapi, GK rolled out with Winston on Runasapi, and
The
it actually started
circuit.
working towards the end of the map. But Liquid just like played around the Winston to a T.
Isn't
and so
there
they ended up
theoretically
genetically,
a chance, like if it probably won't happen, but if Sakura plays really well and wins their next matches, they could send
Yes.
like Liquid and SSG to like the play-ins to a degree?
I don't think they're winning against Liquid, but
No.
no, it's
there
not
is a-
promotion, but lower bracket, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They're
There
going
is-
to like lower bracket of play-ins, right?
lower bracket play-ins, yeah.
Yeah.
So Sakura could do something real funny, yeah.
I think SSG have to
theory.
win out. If SSG doesn't win out, then they're in the lower bracket, I think.
They're in trouble.
I could be
big
wrong,
time.
yeah.
But I don't think Sakura is going to do that. I'm simply saying it would be very funny if that were to happen, or if they were literally just to beat even just SSG. But
It
It'd
looked
be
alright,
SSG,
though.
bro.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
I mean, I'm not.
I don't
It'd be
think
a
they
good
should,
game.
though. I don't think they should.
No. In
SSG should
theory,
win out,
it's
but-
SSG like a 3-1 kind of vibe.
It's going to be fun to follow. There's definitely stakes. Like I expect SG to just like sweep the rest of the teams and win out, but it's tight. Like they haven't done themselves any favors. Like
there's
every game matters now.
theoretically a chance, depending if SSG shits the bed or not, because I doubt Liquid, but Liquid could, where we could have 2 partner teams in relegation.
Liquid will not.
No, they won't be a relegation team here.
There won't be relegation?
Not here. Like a partner team in NA will not happen.
Oh, I guess that's fair. Their record's not bad enough, especially because
lower
Supernova
bracket is still a big deal.
Yeah. I guess that's fair. Their record's not bad enough. But because I guess if SSG lost out, they'd be what, 2-5?
But like Supernova Dildogs, like it's not even.
Yeah, it's
we can say
probably
this.
impossible.
We can say this because only the top 3 go to EWC, and it's looking like Nightmare and GK are the best. It's quite possible one of the partner teams doesn't make it.
Yeah, they don't make it. Yeah.
Yep. Possible.
Yeah.
That's still pretty brutal. That would be very,
Which
very
for
brutal.
Team Liquid, it would be an absolute disaster for them because they didn't make Hangzhou either. Like you have to start asking serious questions about Team Liquid and what their roster looks like, including the entirety of the roster, Source included, if they fail to make 2 of the big events of the year out of 3, right? Like it's pretty bad. It's
pretty interesting how much I think the change for OWCS has affected like a lot of this long-standing talent and like what it means, because like it's not that there's still plenty of talent that were good in Overwatch League that are good now, but at least in particular like North America, it definitely feels like it's been a kind of a big shift. Like in Korea, it's still a lot of the same faces that you would expect, and even EMEA to a degree. But I think there's still a little bit more swap up. But like North America, it definitely feels like a lot of that like North American like old school talent is struggling like kind of hard comparatively. Now it could just be for a variety of reasons, but feels like a much bigger fall from like the post Overwatch League to OWCS for that talent in NA than it does anywhere else. Now it could just be because also like 2/3 of Overwatch League was Korean anyways. So I guess it doesn't really matter to the same extent, I guess.
I think realistically, a lot of NA talent that wasn't in Overwatch League have actually got their chance now. Like they're actually like, they were competing in solo queue and like tier 2 and stuff, and playing against some of the Korean players. And it was a conversation we had like a long time ago where a lot of these tier 2 NA players got insane levels of practice versus like top Korean players because they were playing in NA at the time. But now they're finally actually coming up with the fucking goods and actually being like, hey, I probably should have been in Overwatch League, but there was no spots. It's kind of sick.
It's going to be a fun week of matches, fellas. This is now before Bren's Player of the Week to wrap us up. I'm going to tell this story as well. It's not even a story, really. But I'm currently in a war. For some reason, on our rooftop terrace kind of thing, I have a garden, a beautiful, little furniture. You can go, sit in the sun, barbecue, grill, whatever. For some reason, there are a group of crows that have become really territorial. And every time I go up on this roof, they dart over to our roof immediately and they start harassing me. And they screech at me and they circle me.
Can't
and
you
they
just get like
me.
a owl statue or something?
So I got a hawk statue, actually. I did. And every morning I walk around and you're supposed to like move the hawk because crows are really intelligent and they will figure out that it's a statue unless you actively move it. So every day I move this hawk. And it's now a regular thing where 2 times a day I just go up to my roof to like see if there's any crows nearby and see if they dart over here. I took out my speaker. I started playing like bird noises, like hawk and eagle screeches to try to scare these crows away. Yeah, so I'm in like I was grilling the other day, like the first time it happened, and this fucking bird was like hovering in the sky, just like wah, wah, wah. Like I mean, I swear I was ready for it to swoop in and fucking like fucking claw me or something. Like so I'm in an active war with these crows that are harassing me on the roof, and so I'd just like to share that if something happens to me, it was the fucking crows.
Use a scarecrow.
This is the first time
that's like
an
a hawk,
animal,
essentially.
It's the first time a wild animal has ever engaged in like some kind of like fighting combat with me. Yeah, like I've never have I engaged with an animal that is like threatening me. So this is like uncharted territory for me. These crows are actively like fucking with me on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, I'm in a war right now.
You got to get a real hawk. That's what
Yeah,
you're
you should
doing.
become a falconeer.
That'd be that'd be aura.
Cool.
That would be kind of
unbelievable
aura. I'm not gonna lie. If you show up and it's like, hey, we don't have the drone, we have the hawk. Like when they're getting drone footage, but it's like a literal hawk carrying a GoPro, and like they're like driving and they're like flying around. That would be fucking insane.
Can Bren's player of the Beak be these crows?
Player of the Beak.
Player of the Beak.
I like that one. Johnny versus the crows. How many crows are you dealing with? 4?
I'd say 3 are pretty active. Yeah.
3 crows.
Okay.
But it's pretty impressive because obviously I walk up to my roof and like they're not bound to my roof specifically. Like sometimes they'll be over like across the street, sometimes they'll be like at the supermarket parking. But like they see me when I come up on the roof and they fly over. So it's like they're controlling a territorial area.
I think you're a tree.
Have you a Swedish oak, perhaps?
They're like,
Have you
holy
checked-
shit! Did you see? He's so tall. We could land.
Have you checked for nests? Genuine question.
That's
No,
what
you
I'm
haven't.
assuming there is, that they've actually like built
I
nests
would
here.
100%.
But I don't know
check in,
how
like,
actively I can look
buckets
because it's
or
townhouses.
corners,
So
or,
I don't
like-
think it's on my. It might be on like a neighbor's terrace. So
Because that is one. We had pigeons on our balcony for a little while because I left this like, you know, those black tubs with the yellow lids. I left one of them outside and put some shit in it, just to like store it out there. And then like pigeons made a nest in there, and I had to like fucking get rid of it and shit. It was really annoying. But that's one of the reasons why birds will do that, is to protect a nest. So I'd 100% check in
I
like
think
pots
that's
or
it.
like shit like that.
for sure. But I don't think it's on my property. I think it's my neighbors who.
Why don't you mimic like killing a fake crow and then they get like scared?
Yeah,
away?
if you print a bit of paper and just start fucking
like you get like a
punching
paper,
it.
you produce like a local pinata company, because we had to do this for NRG once, where I got a pinata made of like the Sentinels logo. You go to a custom pinata dealer, they make a crow, then
bash it with a hammer.
and then you have like your phone is playing like crow noises. And while it's
Yeah.
happening, and then you're like
Yeah.
in it, and the crow's like,
Distressed
"Oh
crow
shit,
noises.
we shouldn't go over that roof anymore." Like
Yeah.
that. This guy's
That's
fucking
good.
crazy.
That's really good.
What I read is that like you're supposed to like play calm and back off, because if you threaten them further, then they're actually gonna like fucking come in for you and swipe you.
Well,
So
When you buy
I try
like
to distance myself
pepper
from
spray.
that. Pepper spray. Are you fucking stupid? I'm gonna pepper spray
He's
crows.
stupid. No, you could like, well, you could do anything. You could literally just sort of spray deodorant at them, like anything that's like, you know, like.
So
What
I
if
did
you build
water,
some
like
sort of
with the hose. I
dome
sprayed water, but even
around
that
your-
they were
yeah,
like,
yeah. Water
no, but
would
apparently
be
that's
good.
bad, because then, you know.
What about a
like,
dome?
Okay, let's theoretically
iron
say,
dome.
let's say they have a nest, Jaws. They're not gonna
Yeah.
be like, oh fuck, this guy is spraying water at me, I'm gonna abandon my nest. No, like their mother instinct's gonna kick in, like, I'm gonna fucking kill this Swedish dude like to the death. Like
Kill
it's either
the
me or the
dude.
Swedish
Kill
dude.
him to death. I'm
Kill
going
the
to kill him to death.
6'7" Swedish motherfucker. That's
Well, I mean,
It's
they're
you or me.
not
One
going
of us is going down.
Well, then essentially you just remove the nest and it's done, though.
I don't know
Yeah.
if there's one, because it's on
Well,
my neighbor's
you
property.
need to look right now. Take your camera, look right now. We'll do a live
right
play-by-play
now.
of you looking around your net for the nest.
What are some other things that could make you like?
This is definitely the longest Brains Play of the Week I've ever been part of. I
Yeah,
will
Brent's
say that
player of the
much.
week. The
It's the
crows
crows.
harassing Johnny. Brent's
Yeah,
player of the
I'll
week,
try to
crows
capture a
harassing
video
Johnny.
next time it comes in to threaten me. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it felt like a Final Fantasy encounter.
Why don't you just try to
ready
befriend
play
the crows
music.
instead? Why don't you give them offerings?
Oh,
Because then they'll
give
come
them
back.
like
I don't want the crows to come back.
But what if they're gonna be chill?
Give them berries.
What if they'll be chill and shit?
Okay,
like
Stephanie
they come
hates
back and they.
birds. So
Well, that's a
that's just a
problem.
no-go. Like
That's
she
a
hates
problem.
birds.
That's a problem.
There's
But what
also
if
we
you
have a
named them,
neighbor
though?
who feeds pigeons, and so there's pigeons shitting all over our terrace because they're feeding
However,
them.
if you then get into an argument with Stephanie, you have the crows for backup and emotional support, you know? So there's that too. I think that's good.
Dude, I'm gonna
I
take
think-
some of these pigeons and like bring them to your place, Jaws. This is
Dude,
how
fuck
this is how it feels right
Dude,
now.
actually, fuck pigeons. They shit all over my balcony.
Yeah, that's what they're doing here. Yeah,
I fucking hate pigeons, dude. They're so
Yeah.
annoying.
our neighbor's like, oh, there's animals here. So it's like, yeah, they're shitting all over the place.
Yeah, how about a fucking 12 gauge, motherfucker? See the fucking animals, bro.
I would love to see Johnny
did
firing
I did have the
wildly in
idea that to buy like a soft air gun and just like shoot soft air gun pellets.
An airsoft gun?
But I
that
don't
would
even
be
know if that's
crazy.
legal.
No, a
but-
soft air gun. He'd be shooting large pressures of air at them, kind of like an air cannon. Okay, so it'd be shooting that, and it'd be hitting
yeah,
them with
because
sonic
we
waves.
yeah, because we had that growing up instead of like it's
Oh,
called a
yeah, the
pinball or
ones that you
something.
pull back and they have the and it goes boom.
No, we had like actual like soft air guns, and you can get like different kinds of bullets that hurt a different amount. Yeah, but I don't know if that's legal to shoot
I think that's an airsoft gun, not a soft air gun. But I guess Swedish maybe.
I mean, it might be what it's called in Sweden.
Yeah,
it's a soft
gun. Airsoft guns? Yeah, it might be an airsoft gun. Yeah,
not soft
right,
air.
so
I thought you meant
gun,
like the cannons. Have you seen those where you put, they're like a plastic bag and then you pull them back and then you go boom and it's like a big.
I like this is like one of the most enthusiastic segments here is us talking about the crows at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
Apple's just like trying. He's just hanging on. Like I just see, bro. He's
it's this. It's this, and the Zootopia topic.
No, I was very invested actually in the Crusty Canny GM discussion. Okay, I just felt like my energy wasn't returned. You know, my energy wasn't returned for that. So
in the Zootopia segment,
I had 3 good sections in there, and it seems like they've only been the energy's only been returned.
How excited are you for Zootopia 2? To be honest.
I'm pretty excited because I hope they make a reference. I don't know if I should say it on the episode, but I'm just gonna say I'm just gonna say that I'm excited. Let's just say I'm excited.
He's fucking pumped.
This guy wants to fuck the rabbit. That's why he's excited.
No, well, it is. There is something related to that. But I will say that
dude, wait, is it 18 plus this time?
Oh my god! It has 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Bro, Zootopia, it was a good children's movie. It was a good film. Christ. I will say when I saw it in theaters, I was really pissed because the theater was like extremely full and I had to sit in like the front row and I was like, this. Just like trying to watch Zootopia film. I was like, fuck, dude, like this isn't fun. And like there wasn't that many children. It was all like 18 to 24-year-olds like watching Zootopia.
Duration 1 hour 48 minutes. More movies need to be 1 hour 48 minutes. Less like 3 hours
48 minutes.
Less 3 hour 10 minutes movies. More.
Oh, what? Oh no, I'm the opposite. I'd rather have longer movies.
No,
bro.
3 hours is too long unless it has to deserve the runtime. 3 hours is too long unless it's really good.
Yeah,
I think an hour and a half to 2 hours is a very good sweet spot. But
2 hours, great.
I would say
good length.
If you're going above 2 hours, you're gonna have to earn it. You have to earn that shit.
I can't remember what I watched recently, but all right, Blend Player of the Week. The crows on Johnny's.
I heard them crow outside my window. That's why I thought of it. Yeah,
I think secondary Blend Player of the Week gonna be proper, taking his paycheck on Falcons. That's my second. I think Player of the Week is proper.
Tertiary Blend Player of the Week is Tom Cruise for that biplane stunt in Mission Impossible. That's a fucking good movie. That was an insane movie. That's a good 3 hour movie. I can't remember if it was actually 3 hours, but it was long as hell. That Final Reckoning movie, super long. But honestly, I was engaged the whole time. So, not gonna lie, it was a good experience, a good time for me.
Also, fourth Brins Player of the Week is gonna go to Riot Games for TXKO or whatever, which just got blown out of the water by the Rivals like fighting game. They got announced. Oh yeah, that's my fourth Player of the Week.
Wait, what? They got blown out of the water by the... Wait, what?
It's just like everyone's way more excited about the Marvel Rivals fighting game now. Yeah. Who knows? We don't know, right? Whoever knows.
Doesn't Marvel have a bunch of fighting games already? Like, isn't this like...
They had older ones, but this is their newest one.
Check the 360 catalog for superhero fighting games, bro. I promise. There are so many.
Oh, so this is why everyone's been clowning on Injustice lately on Twitter. I was like, why is everyone clowning on Injustice? And it's because Marvel's got a new fighting game. I see. Yeah. I get it.
Isn't Stellar Blade coming out on PC?
What are you talking about?
This guy just pivots to Stellar Blade.
Stellar Blade.
You know what else is a fighting game? Stellar Blade.
Stellar Blade.
Dude,
no, it's
Stellar
Blade.
Wait, Stellar Blade isn't a fighting game. I thought Stellar Blade was like a...
No, it's an action game. It's like a third-person action game.
Fucking Summer Game Fest on other monitor? Holy Gooner game.
Well, I thought Stellar Blade... I mean, I guess Stellar Blade is a fighting game, right? Because it's like you fighting versus
it's the first
your
Descendant.
dignity. It's like you fighting versus
I thought you were about to say you fighting versus your dick. I'm like, you know what? You beat them. I get it.
You're beating that
motherfucker.
You're winning against your dick.
You're doing a little bit... Yeah, that could be that.
You are fighting.
Winning.
Dude, I saw a good GIF, by the way, to end up the episode. I saw a GIF of like...
What
happened? Is he choking in real life? Is he choking in real life?
Wait, sorry.
Did the Canadian air get to him?
The bad Canadian air got him. The Canadian air got to me for a second. But the saw a really good GIF. Woman, there's a guy in the lake, and the text on the bottom says like, "Come here," like I'm like it's a roadhog, like "Come here," and then she like put a leash around a guy's balls who was like pulling him through the water towards her. So
that's really funny. That's funny.
Thoughts on that?
That's good.
Okay.
Thoughts on that? Let's talk about that one.
Let's dissect that one. Bring it up on stream.
Let's bring that one up on stream. I have it saved. I have it bookmarked.
Let's bring that one up on stream.
Actually, you can't bring it up because it shows dick and balls. You cannot bring that up. So.
Is it like a real? Is it real or is it like?
Yeah, it's a naked man in the water with a leash around his dick and balls, and the woman.
That is incredible.
The screen's
we're
going
cutting
off.
to
We're
black.
fading out.
It was a great episode. Goodbye.
Goodbye,
Goodbye.
everybody.
We've done enough. Farewell.